Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to Adcock Park in Gosford for this round 10 Hunter AFL Central Coast match between Gosford and Wyong Lakes. This afternoon, my name is Lucas Holmes, and this afternoon I'm joined by David Redden. David, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lucas. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, thanks, David. I'm good.
And all went well at your umpiring this morning, Waters Bay and Lake Mac at Fayon.
It was a beautiful morning up there on Lake Macquarie there, David. No rain to speak of as yet, although it looks like it may have evaded us rather here this afternoon as well as we approach this game between these two sides, David.
Thank you, Lucas. Indeed, yeah, like Kendall showed us a radar earlier on. The rain was smashing towards Newcastle and it missed us, so hopefully that stays away. The Gosford Tigers Football Club, 5 Brad Dietz, 6 Alex King, 7 Tom Hunt, who's a late in everybody, 9 the coach Josh Barty, Patrick Murphy, who will enjoy the short ground today here at Gosford in 10, Lachlan Henderson 11, Kieran Handley 13, William Clark 14, James Regas 16, Dan White 20, Alex Remy 21, Harry Thompson 22, Brendan Ether 23, Hamish Sprower 24, Alastair Jewell Ferguson 25, Dan Roger 26, Scott Manuel 27, Harrison Colreevy 28. Now there's two 28s on my sheet which will have to get fixed up. Callum Montgomery is also named in 28, Jack Brewster 29, Ben O'Callaghan 32, Alex Sproul 34, Adam Miller 37. Lucas, what you read that out, I'll go and find out which is the correct number.
Wyong Lakes Australian Football Club, 3 Josh Glacken, 4 Carter Jones, 5 Mitch Eads, 7 Keaton Jones, 10 Lee Moore, 12 Brody Casburn, 15 Chris Coop Folks, 17 Jordan Deeble, 18 Andrew Raslin, 19 Justin McFan, 21 Braden Toz, 23 Ben Glacken, 25 Mitch McDonald, 27 Tim Hillman, 31 Mitchell Logan, 33 Nathaniel Lander, 37 Aaron Laxar. The emergency Kane Wilson's been omitted, David. 44 Zach Cogden, 50 Sean Menia. There's been a late number change, David. Josh Doyle's gone from 53 to jumper number 11. 54 is James Roach and 59 is Nathan Doyle. And the umpires today, David, field umpires, Ryan Stanton, Jody Henderson, Kyan Everson, who's on debut at age 15, David.
Very
Wonderful achievement. Boundary umpires, Simon Macaulay, Miles Macaulay. And in goals today, David Nelly, Biden and Isaac Stokes.
Could you move the tally just slightly for me towards me so when I start calling, if that's okay, Lucas?
I can, David.
Thank
sure
you very
thing.
Much. And the man, Jody Henderson, the Orange Tiger with the football. Lucas Holmes to start us off. Welcome to Bar TV. Here we go. Gosford and Wyong Lakes. Rock and roll time at Adcock Park. Lucas James Holmes, over to you, sir.
Thank you, David. In the ruck, Rigas for Gosford, Braden Toz for Wyong Lakes, and Jody Henderson's got the football. It's go time here. Up we go. You'd expect Toz to have the ascendancy. Give that one down to Toz to the left hand. Oh, wonderful tackle there. The clearance was coming. Got the tackle on the way through. At time. Wonderful tackle there from Henderson. Henderson goes square. Just finds his man just below his knees. That's not Hanley. That's Murphy, of course. That huge right foot that he normally possesses. Scrubby kick this time and a free kick for holding. Goes the way of Sproul. Sproul immediately plays on chipping ball inside forward 50. Just evades his play. Goes over the top. A snap at goal. Is it gone? It has, David. Haven't quite got that number, though.
I think that might have been Jewel Ferguson in 25 off his left. It was. Alastair Jewel Ferguson. What a brilliant snap, Lucas.
It sure was, David. Fast start to the game here for the Gosford Tigers, stemming from that great tackle out of the centre square.
Subway Morrisett is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Trading hours 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Support local businesses. Lucas, Subway.
Eat fresh.
What a snap from Jewel Ferguson there, Louis. Continue on, please, my friend.
It sure was.
One straight 6 yet to score.
Sure was, David. Back to the middle we go. This time, Ryan Stanton has the ball.
Prime Possum, the great man. There he is.
Toz and Rigas resume battle once again. Up goes the ball for the second time today. Give that one just to Rigas, actually. Gets the secondary tap down. There's magpies everywhere, swooping. Gets the handball out the back to Moore. One of their better players is Lee Moore for the Wyong Lakes Australian Football Club. There's Doyle at the drop of the ball. As he dragged that ball in, it's been knocked out, so it's fine. There's Hillman on the ground in 27. Immediately wraps the ball up, and we'll have a throw up near the end of the square, David, with a minute and 3/4 gone in this first quarter.
Braden Toz with gets the tap down. Beautiful tap down. Immediately hits Eade. Moore! Beautiful finish from the quality veteran rover. Lee Moore a goal. 1 straight 6 apiece. What a superb little snap from Lee Moore. Lucas Holmes over to looking for a feature compact premium SUV for your family. Check out Hunter Havel Maitland and Brian Hilton Havel North Gosford for their range of affordable SUVs. Book your test drive today. Louis, what a response from Gosford. I think today's going to be a cracking game of football. The weather's okay. Nothing wrong with the conditions. Should be a good game of footy.
Not at all, David. In this opening 3 minutes, we've had end-to-end football already. That's exactly what we want here. Shows great skills in our league.
And as we discussed as I was discussing in the women's game we just finished calling, it's a short ground here, so there's a lot of room. Yours, Louis.
It sure is, David. Give that one to Toss over the top once again. And another great tackle from the centre square this time.
I reckon it's Henderson again. It is.
It is. That's what you want. That's what Josh Barty, speaking of Barty, he's on the ball now. Swings around onto that right boot, looking to go forward. Over the head. His player. They got at the back here, Gosford. They got the numbers they have. Then here is Sproul. He's kicked it, David.
Wow.
24. Hamish Sproul with Gosford's second end-to-end football already, David. 3 goals in 3 minutes.
Belmont 16-footers are located on picturesque Lake Macquarie. Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook, the home of the under AFL Central Coast and the home of the Elliot Davey Middle Night on Wednesday, September 4. Lucas Holmes, you and I have both been there. Should be a great night. I think that's during your mid-semester break. Is that right or not?
Maybe the week. No, it might be in the second week, yes.
Because that weekend of the finals, the weekend before the preliminary finals, I'm sure that you're at home.
Is the 26th is my first,
That's right,
correct.
because you can call the Sunday games as well with us. Very good.
Oh, there's a bit off the ball here. Henderson, I want to keep him away from the ball. He's been lightning with the tackles early and the pressure in the middle of the ground. Gosford get the centre clearance going their way this time. Goes over the back. They've got numbers. That's right. He's going to the shepherd there. That's what he should be doing. Goes around Jewel Ferguson on his... Tries to go back on his right this time. Smothered off the boot. Play on. There's Doyle. Doyle gets the ball slightly forward. Is that Mark? No, it's not 15 metres. Play on, says umpire Henderson. And that tackle might be high, not paid. Clearance comes now this way towards us. Can they get over the back? They can. Who are the numbers here for Gosford? That's off the ball. That'd be late. It wasn't. There's Barty on his left side. This is in front of us here, David. Can they scramble the ball over the boundary? That's what they're trying to do. And it does. Ball almost just forward to true centre wing here. 4.5 minutes gone in this first quarter, David.
Thank you, Louis. Riggis and Braden Toss. We had a catch-up with Braden Toss on the microphone today. He's in good form. Good to talk to the great man. Left-handed out. Beautiful touchdown, Hillman. A lot of experience there. Just gets the kick away, and I mean just. Eade coming, misses. Ferguson. That's not Ferguson. That's King in 6. Square ball. Manuel running out at a fullback. Ex-Warners Bay players. Manuel Lucas Holmes, I was told recently by Jeremy Buckley. Great tackle there from Andrew Reslin. Held in, no prior. Jody Henderson says, I'll have that. He's on the cricket block. Almost dead centre of the ground. Well, Gosford up by one straight kick, 12-6. Toz gets that ball down. Those whistles are a real hassle here at this ground. Just our number one, Doyle. A brilliant cricketer as well, Doyle. Multi-sport star. Ball held in. James Roach couldn't get in there. The last time we caught James Roach, he kicked 3 or 4 goals. The big fella over at Don Small Oval last time we called him. Ball comes out to Glacken. King gets it forward for Gosford. Little push out was clever from Doyle, Josh. Ball comes out, Combox side, open slather here. Real big ball. Who can stay on their feet and have the most composure? Very well done, Casburn. Goes low, brilliant delivery. Mark paid and he didn't take it actually. Paid up, play on. Hillman, who's very clever at that run-on sort of football. Toz drifting forward, gets it to Eade. Over towards Hillman, who's going to go backwards. He's gone. Good tackle made by Patrick Murphy, I think.
Yep.
Who did very well in the second half of the representative fixture at Pasterfield, Lucas. He was brilliant.
He sure did. David Murphy with that booming, ranging right foot kick. Comes down towards us here on true centre wing. Over the back there at Doyle. Who can great pick up one hand too. Goes around on his left boot. That time was Roger. Roger. Goes short to Brewster. Brewster trying to survey his options. Brewster goes with that chipping ball. See how that wind took that then, David. And great mark in front. Was that Sproul in 24, I think it is. Sproul, rather.
Just while we're on it, Caleb Montgomery, delete him from your team. He's been left in there on the sheet, but he's not in the game. Not in 28, so delete him off. Good call that it was Sproul. Stay with it, Louis. Great view on the camera.
Thank you, David. Directly behind here is the camera. Sproul, that almost Josh Kennedy-like skip. Sproul just sprays it slightly. Oh, it's taken in. Well, I thought the wind pushed it too far left, David, but keeps it just inside that left post. Gosford now lead 3 straight 18 to Wyong's 1 straight 6.
ISC have been at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel from grassroots to elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the preferred apparel supplier of the 100 Central Coast AFL for the 2019 AFL season.
I sure are, David. We'll need our jackets this afternoon, I imagine. Weather closing in.
Yes.
Evading us so far, however.
Thank you, sir. You're very interested to pick your brain at half-time, Lucas Holmes. It's been a big week in football. It's been a big week in football, particularly for your club, my friend.
It does.
Braden, Toz and Riggis in the centre. The youngster Everson with the throw. Perfect up to Toz. Doyle, this multi-sport star. Apparently he is a superb cricketer, Lucas Holmes. Played a bit of cricket with a bloke from your part of the world, Toby Gray, from the New South Wales under-19, Australian under-19 player. Jewel Ferguson off, and he's left again. Gosford are up and about at the moment. They are all over the place at the moment. They're really going hard, and that should be held in. Ryan Stanton right on the spot. 8.5 minutes gone. Gosford up by 2 straight kicks, 3 straight to 1 straight. Lucas Holmes, Kendall Clawson, David Redden with you. Braden Toz left-handed, misses his man. Oh, chance! Lucas, was that Patrick Murphy? Just waiting to see who this was. Or was it Barty?
It was a Barty.
Josh Barty with the goal, and Wyong Gosford going along nicely. 4 straight 24 to Wyong Lakes 1 straight 6. Awards R Us were established 25 years ago. They pride themselves on an ability to supply high-quality work. Just one, yeah, it is being run through, and personal professional service. Special deals are available for all AFL Hunter Central Coast clubs. Awards are us. They're our trophy and awards partner. Lucas James.
They sure are, David. Back to the middle once again. Toz already dominant in the ruck early, as you'd almost expect, David.
Yep.
Here we go once again. Stanton with the throw. Toz just gets it down, roving. The Gosford Rovers will have to be doing that, almost roving to Toz in most cases, you think, David?
Yeah, he hasn't played much football. That's Chris Coop-Folks. He's a really important part of the Wyong team. Real diesel in the middle of the ground for him. Off hands. Lovely right foot step. Gets it onto his left foot. Comes out the wing side. Even money ball here. Who wants it more? Good tackle. And out of bounds. Lovely tackle there from Mitch McDonald. And umpire Macaulay, Simon Macaulay will have the throw in there. Half forward flank for Gosford. Toz and Riggis, where are the Rovers? Coop Folks off to Toz's right. And he goes straight in front. Double tap out towards Glacken. Smothered. Got to stay on your feet. Have to go to ground this time, though. That was Colreevy in 28. Good tackle, Doyle. Oh, that's gone. Great tackle, Braden. He took him on. I thought that was a holding the ball decision. Not paid. In there is McDonald. And Ryan Stanton says, mine, Lucas.
That was a good tackle from Toz on the stronger Colreevy. Lower throw this time. Toz just once again. Who's in and under there? That's Glacken in 3 it is. Gets a scrubby little 2-metre kick out. Another great tackle. Puts him down legitimately. There's Henderson in and under. Tries to pick it up. Tries to burrow his way through Henderson. But to no avail. And almost on the exact same spot, Ryan Stanton will have another throw. Almost 11 minutes gone quickly in this first quarter, David. Been great end-to-end football so far. Give that one to Riggis down to Henderson. Was it touched? Touch ball, it was. Boundary throwing once again. Umpire Macaulay being busy early in this first quarter. As we're just looking for some scores around the grounds here, David, early in round 10 of Hunter Central Coast football here.
Yeah, all early doors, not many goals kicked at all around the region, Lucas. So
give that one to Riggis. Gets that ball on the inside. Immediately that was smothered by E. Did well not to pick the ball up. Henderson's been good early in and under, David. Spin move there. Gets a scrubby handball out. Who can pick this ball up? In and under, a bit of scrubby still. A great tackle there. Once again, Roger. He's been prominent early for Gosford, David, in this early charge. 12 minutes gone in this first quarter.
They have. Gosford have been all over them, really. It's been, the scoreline is genuine reflection of the way the game's gone. Left foot, that should be out of bounds in the full this time, it is. And a penalty free kick, that's old school. A free kick to be paid way out there in the back flank.
Carter Jones there, David.
Thank you. Roach Patrick Murphy, that ball's gone out. And in front of Moore and Glacken. Right in front of the commentary position. Ground in good nick, just a bit of give. Toz on the right with the red hair. Perfect view of this contest. See how they go about working their way into free space. Where does Toz go? Even money with a tap. Brilliantly read Hillman. Out that ball comes. Tap down. Well done by Dan White. Done some commentary with Bartomeu this year. Very accomplished young man. Josh Barty, tap out. Reverse tap was brilliant. Out there from Harry Thompson. Gets it going forward. Should be a mark. Well done, Gosford. Gee, they're out and about today, this morning, Lucas Holmes. Sorry, early on in this game. It's not this morning. Feels like it.
Sure did, David. Great break from the stoppage there from Thompson.
Now, am I right?
Spotting up Sproul.
There's 2 Sprouls out there, which is our goals. Have there been 2 to Hamish? Is that right?
2 to Hamish, and this is now Alec.
Thank you. Yep. I'll continue on. Just inside the arc. Drives it, and I don't think he's missed. He hasn't. What a start from the Gosford Football Club. Gosford 5 straight 30. Yes, you heard right. And Wyong Lakes 1 straight 6. 13 and a quarter minutes gone. CFM, the Central Coast #1 stations for someone station for hits and old school. Wake up with Gawney and Ash Pollard for breakfast, full of pranks, real talk, and passion for the community and local initiatives. Start your day with Gawney and Ash Pollard from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. weekdays. Lucas James Holmes.
Thank you, David. Smoking start here for Gosford. 5 goals in 14 minutes of football, David, without scoring a point as well. That's what they need. Straight kicking on a day like this. Rigas almost goes up to one rather uncontested with Toz looking to rove. Pulled out of that one. Toz following up for more. Chipped in the direction of Eade. However, it comes back the other way. Barty does well to Shepherd. Going inside forward 50 once again.
Number 20.
20 that time. Quick ball movement there. And that was White.
What a start.
Skilled player is Daniel White. And Gosford once again, 6 straight 36. Wyong Lakes 1 straight 6.
Bar TV Sports, the specialists in live streaming and broadcasting your sport, including the AFL Hunter Central Coast. Bar TV Sports, making your game the main game. Lucas, what a start. So we've got 6 goals inside 15 minutes, 7 goals in the match, 6 of them to the Gosford Tigers. They're coming out today to me, they're saying, we want to be in finals action. This is the sort of form you expect from someone that really wants to be there.
And with Wyong at the bottom end of the 6, though, it'll be one of those games they need to win to stay in contention for that final spot.
I think the 6th and 7th will be between Gosford and Singleton at the end, Lucas, to be honest, because I think Singleton will win a few more games at home. Good mark there by Doyle at the back at 59. Secondary whistle was from the netball complex above the back. Roach with the mark. He's left-footed. Down the line, looking for McFan, who's got it in front of. Umpire's called play on. That might be a goal.
Just to the near side.
First behind of the game, Lucas Holmes. Gosford 6 straight 36. Wyong Lakes 117. Louis, over to you while I get a little bit warmer, mate.
Thank you, David. As David said, first point of the game here at the magnificent Adcock Park Sporting Complex with the netball on in the background. This ball's going to be now brought in. Chipping ball, short, risky, but pays off. O'Callaghan will go long to this outer side, close to us. Looking for Rigas, but Toz takes one in front. Needs to get out of that protected zone and does, luckily. Toz goes onto that trusty left boot, goes short. His teammates raffle it, almost steal it off each other. There's Glacken, rather Jones. Over the back, there's Doyle. Tries to get the ball over the back. Where's numbers? There's Coop, folks! Just misses. Wyong Lakes 1-2-8. Trying Gosford 6 straight 36 after 16 and a quarter minutes in this first quarter, David.
Thank you, Lucas. Not a bad afternoon here at Adcock Park. The weather, we've got the very good end of it. Ground in good nick. There's no excuses. Almost no breeze at the moment. Beautifully done by Coop, folks. Desperation in midair. Just gets a touch of that. Read the kick well. In front of Remy too. One of Gosford's other prime movements been quite early, however. Yes. I'm actually surprised. I wonder if Pavola's not injured because he's been a rule. Every time we've seen Gosford this year, he's been quite solid. So Gosford up by 28 points. 16 and a half minutes gone in quarter number 1. Everybody misses that one. Hillman going through traffic gracefully as he does. Misses does Glacken, Ben Glacken. That's out of bounds and the full off the ground, I reckon, and he's paid. Yeah, against Lee Moore. I think at the back there, this is going to be Remy and 21, yeah? Yep. Good long kick. Toz has got this. No, he's stayed out the mark and read that brilliantly brilliantly read by Toz. However, the mark couldn't be taken in there. Doyle almost holding the man, I thought. So Moore, Tillman, Glacken, Ben, short ball. Beautifully read by Manuel at the back there. Oh, that's a fraction on the mark. Surely that's 50. At the ball comes from King. Away go Gosford. They're moving with great speed. Jewel Ferguson kicked a brilliant snap early on this afternoon. Kicks it, chips it up three-quarter wedge and marked by Carter Jones. Made the rep squad this year. Couldn't quite crack that final 22. Good player, Jones.
Would have thought Jones would have gone the switch. However, goes back long down the line. And once again for Wyong Lakes, however, goes long once more. Looking for McFan. McFan was rather outnumbered. 2-on-1 Gosford's way. Pumps the ball long back. Look in the direction. Goes over the back there. Miller once again goes forward. 1-on-1 at the back. Lander leading the race. Outnumbered is Lander. 2-on-1. Rogers there as well. In and under. What can Gosford do here? Almost holds the ball in. Looking for a stoppage. Ball's come out. And it's snapped over the shoulder that time. Ether, brother of Tim, gets the first. Gosford's 7th goal, David. 7 straight, 42. Unbelievably leading Wyong 1-2-8.
Tyre Power are proud partners of the NCCUA and community AFL umpires across the New South Wales ACT. Right now and exclusively at Tyre Power, buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyota passenger and SUV tyres. Catalogue full of big brand savings out now. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner operator. Michael Solomons is going to give his players a pasting at quarter time. They have been ordinary this quarter, and they've been made look ordinary by Gosford. And Gosford are getting them, Lucas, from my perspective, with foot speed. They're just too fast for him at the moment. Just too fast. Toz up in the centre with Riggis. Brilliantly roved by Moore. Little left foot ball comes down. Well done there, McFan, I reckon. And very important. Is that actually McFan? He's got the mustache. I think it is. It just looks a little bit short for me. But anyway. So Mark taken out there well inside the arc.
That's what they haven't got first up the centre clearances as well, David.
Just wondering if that's actually Coop Folks. I'm not quite sure.
That's a 5. It must be
Coop
Chris
Folks.
Coop Folks. It is.
And he has flushed that, I reckon. Oh, it's a behind off to the side. So Wyong Lakes 139. Apologies there. I wasn't sure who that was. And Gosford 7 straight. Manuel with a kick out. Comes out the combox side. Oh, 2 Gosford players end up crashing into each other, actually. Barty, good tackle. And gone. And Ryan Stanton called play on it, then it's wisely said no. Or we'll come back to Raslin's free kick. Left footed goes short. Hillman does a lovely shepherd job at the back there. Wasn't picked up by the umpire, or was it? And he's picked it up. Ryan Stanton has picked up a shepherd off them. Tim Hillman held his hands out. All he had to do was stand still, but he put a shepherd on. And there'll be a free kick. Very well done, Stanton. Handley's going to take a free kick for a block out. That's illegal. And Stanton right on the ball.
Hanley.
Goes the barrel, Louis.
Sure does, David. Being a big in Hanley this week after playing reserves last weekend. Intercepted. 1-on-1. Oh, great work, Sprout. Manuel, rather. Manuel immediately plays on, goes to this outer side. Almost picked off there by Glack and Ben. Great spin move to his teammate. Goes back once more. What can they do? That was White this time. Little chipping left boot. Almost too long it was. Wyong have got the numbers at the ground. Eade looks to shoveling handball out. Here's Coop Folks once more. What can he do? Outnumbered. Almost takes a player on. Luckily gets a handball out in the direction of Eade. They're almost raffling this ball here. Can they get their hands out? It's intercepted once more. Eade does the same thing, goes for a shepherd. Gets the tackle evaded. And at the back is Carter Jones. Jones, what's he going to do? Goes that 45-degree kick into the corridor. Risky, but pays off this time. This is McDonald. McDonald immediately plays on. This is better ball movement now for Wyong. Deep inside forward 50. Play trying to get the play an extra 1 or 2 metres from the mark. Try and have a shot and goal.
That's McFan.
This time it is McFan.
So I'll be able to tell McFan and Coop Folks. McFan's got the big bandage on that right knee now,
yep.
Above and below. So McFan's going to take this. Looking at the naked eye, I reckon he's going to end up just on the edge of the arc, Louis, with Manuel standing him up. McFan's a very good kick. This will test him, Lucas. Dumping ball. Got a lot of it. And off to the side with the extra effort. Wyong Lakes 1-4-10. Gosford 7 straight 42.
Just an interesting start, David. That all their missed shots for Wyong have gone to that right-hand side, so I'm not sure if they haven't been able to adjust to the breeze or not. There's White with that moustache in the back pocket. White goes long and high to this outer side. It's a great contest, one-on-one. Toz gets the second thump away. Bounce of the ball goes Wyong's way again. Thump further forward. They've got numbers out here. Doyle gets a scrubby kick along the ground, but beats Keaton Jones to the boundary. And to Wyong's forward flank, we have a throw-in with 22 and a half minutes gone in this first quarter, David.
Yes, Lucas. Look, Wyong Leafs would love a late goal. They would love it after the bombardment they've copped from Gosford in the first 18 minutes of this quarter.
They need it too, David. One of their better players, Henderson, in and under. That's where he's been all afternoon so far. Was that a push in the back against Doyle? It wasn't paid. Holding his space. Can they pick this ball up here? There's a lot of players around this football. Here's Eade. He almost needed to go high, but it was high with that handball. Wasn't it paid? It wasn't. Play on, says Ryan Stanton. Here we go. Eade once again buttering up for more. Goes further back. Gets smothered on that handball. Eade once again. There's Glacken. Gets the handball smothered. Almost taps that over the line. Does very well to go underground there. Toz, there's Murphy. Toz was looking to apply the pressure, but quite couldn't get there. And there's Murphy goes long. Almost gets picked off. But there's King. King goes inside, evades the tackle with that short chipping ball. Is that Sproul? And he plays on, however, it goes even longer, deeper in this forward 50. And the mark's taken. I can't quite find where that ball's gone, however.
Lucas, I think it was smothered off the boot because the boundary umpire Miles McCauley's got the footy in the foot. Sorry, I'm not trying to talk across
No, it's fine. No.
I'm sure that ball was smothered. The sun, just to let you know, the sun's coming in there. It's actually a little bit awkward on the screen at the moment. It'll go away. That'll be fine. Toz with the left-handed out. Minute left in this quarter. And Michael Solomons will be filthy with the defensive accountability of his side, to be honest, Lucas Holmes, if they're going to be brutal and fair. And Josh Barty will be very happy, particularly with the players' foot speed and the half-forward line's been dynamic this quarter.
You need to keep that for the entirety of the four quarters, though, David. That'll be one thing he'll be passing on to his troops.
Glacken out to Jones, out to centre wing. Mark taken Dan White. Smart footballer, smart man. And a beautiful delivery. And this may finish off the quarter. That is brilliant from Dan White. This is one of the Sprouls. It could be Alec. Just wait for him to turn around. It is. So Alex Sproul, if he takes his time, this will be the last action of the first quarter. And this will be not quite a nail in the coffin, but this would cap off a wonderful quarter. Almost no breeze. Not a bad afternoon. Sproul from 40. What's he going to do, Louis? I reckon he's shanked that badly left. And has. That's got Gosford's first behind. Gosford 7-1-43, and there's quarter time. So at quarter time, Gosford 7-1-43, an absolute bombardment from the Tigers. Wyong Lakes, a lot of work to do at quarter time, 1-4-10. Lucas Holmes, Kendall Clausen and David Redden will be back with you in a couple of minutes after our quarter time break.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to what is now a sun-drenched Adcock Park here. Rain looks to evade us for a short time. At least looks like on the radar that Newcastle's copying it a bit now, though, David.
Yes, and Conversation Corner will have some interesting things to talk about at half-time. A few things happening in footy, Louis. I know you won't be overly impressed, so loved it. I spoke with Michael about that at the half-time in the women's game. I won't give an opinion. I've given mine. I'd love to pick your brain. Then we'll talk about other things as well, okay? Conversation Corner, make sure you come back with us at half-time. A very interesting week in the world of Australian football. And I'm sure there'll be some people very pleased there's football on. Very good wins this weekend already to the West Coast Eagles and to the Sydney Football Club last night. Lucas Holmes.
Sure do. Toz and Rickers resume their battle. Give that one down to Toz. Butters up for more. Eads looks like he's going in the middle now. Eid goes long and high into the Wyong Lakes forward line. Almost taken to the back there. Not paid. Gosford looked to rebound in defence. Can't quite get there. In and under. The King was there. Just get sprayed out here for Wyong. They go long and high once more. They got a one-on-one. Can he use his nimbleness? Can he screw it back? Moore's there, but it's gone out of bounds, I think, David. Oh, he's paid the mark. Hold on.
I don't think that went out of bounds. I think he was standing just in the inside, Lucas, of the pad. This is a terrible kick for a right-footed kick. He's going to run around. More!
On his left.
I think he's kicked it. If he has, he's skillful. He hasn't. He's missed near side. 1-5-11 at Wyong Lakes, Gosford at 7-1-43. And look, that's a remarkable. We were looking 45 minutes ago thinking we were going to get wet here and we're underneath the tent, but it's actually turned out to be whilst cool, but quite a pleasant afternoon. Clouds around, but great to have dry weather football. And while we're talking about football, next week Lucas Holmes and I will be in the Hunter Valley. And Maitland and Gosford, our first time to Max McMahon this year, Louis. Third time calling Maitland. Maitland and Gosford next week, Lucas James.
It'll be a good battle, David, as we're discussing those finals positions before. This has been touched.
It has not.
But did he play on out of the square?
No, that was inside the square, and I'm sure that that's a free kick. No, but he was kicked it inside the square, though. Okay, right. That because this has happened a couple of times this year in different areas, and it's been called differently. So obviously that's not a rule. They've got completely disposed of the rule. That's fine. Up they go. Toz, left-handed. The league fullback at the moment, Braden Toz, and we were speaking about him earlier on, and he loved his players play. He had a great day, and it's great to see him playing such good football in what's been a very difficult year for him and his family. And best regards to Michael as well. I think he's here today, Michael Toz. Great man for the Wyong Lakes Footy Club. Brilliantly read. Remy thumps that ball down and that's open pasture over here. Pagan's paddock's been created. Jill Ferguson, one brand pick up is brilliant. There's a player all on his own. How that's happened, I don't know. Gosford a real chance here. Can they screw another one? It's touched the post, it has. So, Gosford 7-2-44, Wyong Lakes 1-5-11, 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you, David. Kick-in duties for Casburn. Surveying his options. What are they doing here? It goes to this long on his left boot to this outer side. Mark taken. Immediately plays onto his left. Chipping ball again once more. Goes up the line. This one was Raslin. Raslin takes that kick on inboard. Goes to Eid. What's Eid going to do? Almost identical. Chipping ball inside to Hillman. Sorry, David. That sun's slightly in the way, but however we go on. Hillman goes underground to Moore. Very good below his knees is Moore. Exposes the ball on the outer side. Gosford had the overlap. Was that pushed out? No. Play on his Doyle. Doyle then puts a Shepherd on. Scrubby round on the left boot. Where's the mark going to be taken? It doesn't. It hits the ground and tapped through. Out of bounds. Yeah, about 5 metres around from the behind post, David.
Justin McFan was asking there, because the ball had bounced, it's not a marking contest. He was asking for deliberate because it had been tapped out by Gosford. Ryan Stanton decided that it was an even contest. Lucas, stay with it, mate.
Miles McCauley with the throw-in. Up goes Toz, taps to the inside. Off the ground goes Doyle. Nathan Doyle. Wyong Lakes badly needed that one. Their second. Wyong Lakes now trailed 2-5-17 to Gosford's 7-2-44.
Central Coast Physiotherapy Sports and Spinal Centre is helping keep AFL Hunter Central Coast footballers on the field all season long, as well as providing the best in injury treatment and rehabilitation. They can also supply over your tape and trainer needs at the best price guaranteed, Louis. Lovely snap. That's what Wyong Lakes needed. And let's have a look and see. Now, there's almost no breeze now, to be honest with you. It is almost a perfect weather for footy. Ground in good nick, and, it's just that there's a little zephyr there, but there's no breeze that's going to take effect in this game, really.
They need to string 2, 3 or even 4 goals together to get them well and truly back into this game, and Toz is going to be a major part of that. He once again gets that tap out. Butters up for more, tries to get that centre clearance. Gosford dispossessed at the back. There's White on his left boot. Goes to the outer side. Wrapped up tackle. That was Jewel Ferguson once again. He's been important so far, David, for Gosford.
Oh, yeah, and that was an excellent tackle around the hips. I know you were travelling down. Some of the tackling in the women's game preceding this was superb. Kate Holland would have got 7 free kicks from perfect tackle and hard. Look, she's tough and hard, and she drove some people. Drove that shoulder into a few hips and dealt with them.
Of course, the women's captain for the representative team this year was Kate Holland. Along the ground, there's Doyle once again, wrapping another tackle being wrapped up, and umpire Henderson calls for the football. Just forward of centre wing here, just advantage to Wyong. Toz once again thumps it out with that left hand rather. However, it's picked off. Gosford have done well to rove Toz so far in this game. Hillman gets a hand out. There's Lander, goes long and high down the line. Does Lander?
No, not paid.
No.
I thought there was a push out against Roach. Continue on, please, sir.
Roach on that left boot. Goes even further inside forward 50 for Wyong.
Oh! Hey! What a grab. Is it McFan?
No, that's Doyle in 11. No, it is McFan in 19 just.
One-handed. Yep. That's one of the best marks we've called on.
And he did very well, actually, without putting his hands into the back of his opponent to keep his space, and then with that left shoot gets a mark. Now McFan, this is the easy bit, and it was. McFan's kicked it, and here come the Magpies. How good is it to say that, David? 3-5, 23 Wyong, 7-2, 44 Gosford.
I was waiting for that, yes. Very good. After it turns in a London phone box, we get how good is it to say that here come the Magpies. Lucas Holmes, ladies and gentlemen, he's a good man, and he loves his Collingwood. Why? It's inexplicable, but he loves his Collingwood. And I don't think Lucas is going to enjoy Conversation Corner very much today, because I know they'll have opinions on what's gone on during the week, but that's part of the deal. So
sure is, David.
That's part of what sometimes you don't get to talk about the things you like.
No.
Braden, Toz, and Riggis. Toz is absolutely killing it there. The Maggies are on a runner here. Doyle, that's a shocking kick. Man in front. Chance at rover level. Where's Hillman? No, it's McDonald, actually. McFan beats him, goes off with a left foot soccer, sorry. Been handing a left-hand soccer, David. Smothered. Son playing everywhere. I'm going to call on natural, Lucas. And picked up there by, I'm sure that's Thompson in 22 it is.
Yep.
And I'll stick with that at the moment, with the sun angle on that. Double hand drop is awkward and stays in. Barty puts a fend on brilliantly. Too strong. Lovely grab in front of us. Perfect delivery from Barty, actually, to Roger. Big, strong unit Roger is. Suggest that lad spent quite a bit of time in the gym, Louis. Very well built. Yeah, Son interferes, but he picks that off very comfortably. It's a poor kick. That Jones? No, it's not Jones. Lovely left foot kick. One-on-one contest. Not marked. Dragged him out of it, I thought. And paid. So good mark. Decision paid to Ben Glacken. Goes up the hot spot. There's McFan in front. Roger at his back. Raslin roving misses what he should have otherwise taken. Toz should take this. No, he gets 3-on-1 in the end. They come from everywhere to stop him. The big unit. Glacken. There's a man on out the back who had his hand up and he can't quite get him. It's Nathan Doyle, New South Wales cricket captain at one stage in his career, at 19s, I think. Great tackle, should be gone. Beautiful tackle. Who's going to get the free? That's Hillman who's got the ball, but it's not going to. Is that Nathan Doyle? It is.
It is, yep.
So Doyle will be going for his second goal in this quarter, and the Maggies have hit some kind of switch, and they're on. They're all over him at the moment, the Maggies.
They needed to be, David, after that fast start from Gosford. Now here's Doyle. What can he do? The goal umpire moves a bit to a right, but it's a goal. Second for Nathan Doyle. And Wyong now 4-5-29, trailing Gosford 7-2-44.
Game on, Lucas Holmes. Looking for a feature-packed premium SUV? Gee, that's hard to say. For your family, check out Hunter Haval, Maitland and Brian Hinton Haval, North Gosford for their range of affordable SUVs. Brookhill Test Drive today. The major and naming rights sponsor of our wonderful Hunter Central Coast Football League. Our chief commentator, Lucas Holmes, will be taking us from the centre bounce. Lovely goal, Doyle, and Wyong have kicked Lucas 3 in a row, and it is absolutely game on at Adcock Park. Lucas Holmes.
3 in 5 minutes, David. Rigas and toss again. Stanton with the throw. Give that one just to Rigas.
Yep.
Follows up for more Rigas. Hits the ground. Where do we go? Clearance there. Sproul gets up and under it. It was intercept mark that time. Surveying his options now. Is he going to go wide? He probably should. Gets called to move it on, and he plays on now. Goes long down the line to a pack, and great mark over the back. Was that White? It was.
Very skillful, Lucas. One-hander again.
White immediately plays onto that trusty left, however gets picked off this time. And that was Doyle, Josh Doyle, in that late number change of 11. Goes immediately across the ground. Great move. Where can they go? Looks like an unnatural left foot looking for Raslan, and they collide. But safe mark in the end is Raslan.
Jones is on his run on from that contest. Jones is on, gets the mark at centre wing. Right in front. Thank you, Lucas. Another mark coming on. Wyong running hard here. They've obviously, but Keaton Jones get this one. Players free all over the place here. Off goes Glacken. I don't think he'll shoot. Up to the hot spot. Manuel at the back. The second punch coming out. Moore roving. He's got a yard. Lee Moore. Oh, gets a good tackle actually came in there. McFan backs out of trouble. There's no one there other than Scott Manuel, and he'll take a kick. Well, how disappointing for the Maggies. Thought they were on there. Toz covers in here. Is he going to get involved in the play? He will. Now Toz has a chance. Left footer. Braden Toz! Goal, Maggies! 4 in a row. Fantastic comeback by Wyong Lakes. Braden Toz is first. Wyong Lakes, 5-5-35. Gosford, 7-2-44. Lucas, we won't have an ad read. What a turnaround.
And that was Rigas again. Wouldn't have wanted to lose his feet, but ultimately did, David, try to take that mark, and it puts you immediately out of the game that way.
It does, and when you watch our different levels of football, like sometimes we get to call 3 levels of football, the players that hold their feet, especially with inexperienced players around them or whatever, always come out on top. You must hold your feet. Now, Rigas fell over there, and Toz has absolutely punished him. That's what you got to do. It's hard, but that's the way it is.
Rigas was in the right spot, but ultimately paid the price for, I'm not sure if it was a drop mark or a scrubby kick. However, we move on. Coop Folkes now rolls around on his right boot, in from behind there. Gets picked up, tries to get his handball out. Does. Picked off now. Here come Gosford, however, is picked off once more. That's Lander on his left boot. Is it gone out of the bounds? It has on the bounce. Near the behind post, and we'll have a boundary throw in deep in Wyong Lakes' forward 50 with about 12 minutes gone in this second quarter. Scores around the ground, David.
We'll come if you can keep calling.
Yep.
I'll refresh and come back
Thank
to
you.
If you can come back to me in the break, Lucas, I'll give everybody some updates.
Both ruckman nominate. Boundary throwing comes here from Miles McCauley, who gets a tap down. McFan was taking ruck duties in the front half, David, looking for Glacken on the ground. Goes on that outer side. There's Doyle. I'm sorry, it wasn't Doyle, it was Roach. He immediately goes in board looking for Hillman and takes a mark in the end over his shoulder and immediately points towards the goals, David.
Whilst he's doing that, Lucas, if you don't mind, Cardiff 15 leading Warners Bay 9 at Fayon. Terrigalawaka, terrible shooting, 47 points up over Singleton. Nelson Bay, 7 points up over Maitland and Max McMahon. And that's a big game for Killarney Vale. Newcastle City up by 2 points over the Bombers at Newcastle #1 Sports Ground. Lucas Holmes.
We'll be wanting to see how weather impacted those games up there are in Newcastle, David. Here's Hillman. Is he going to drop? Is he going to make the distance? It does, and dribbles through for a point. Wyong Lakes, 5-6-36, trailing Gosford, 7-2-44.
Thank you, Louis. Manuel, this reliable backman, has really come in to replace Scott Birkinshaw this year to a certain extent. Isn't it great? Great job. If you're listening, Burko, over there in England, hello, mate. We hope you're well. Look forward to seeing you in the representative cricket season when you get home, big fella. You missed, mate. Lander screws that ball around the hot spot. Anybody's chance. Breezes, interestingly, just picked up at the last minute. Doyle, all over his shoulder. Could be an over-the-shoulder free kick. What a dangerous position. Yeah, there's a breeze that's now picked up 4, 5 or 10 clicks. I think it's coming across from the east. And Doyle's going to have a chance at his third of the quarter. And if he kicks this, wow, what a comeback. This will be 5 in a row for the Maggies. He's only 30 metres out. Doyle shanked it to the right, I reckon. Yeah, that's poor, actually. Should have kicked that goal. Gosford 7-2-44. Wyong Lakes 5-7-37. 14 minutes gone. Quarter number 2. Bar TV. Kendall Corson, Lucas Holmes and David Redden with you at Adcock Park in West Gosford.
So very much a new look backline for Gosford as well, Dave, with Tristan Carter also not being there.
Yes, no Carter, no Pavola today. Over to you, Louis.
Plays onto the outer side. Does Manuel. Where's the ball? It's there. Gets picked up. That's Remy. Goes back onto his right side. Gets a handball off. Quick hat kick clear. Trying to clear the area for Gosford. Brilliant smother from the back. Barnes storming through there was Glacken. And a tackle was put on, not rewarded. Play on. There's Doyle once again and gets wrapped up immediately. In and under. With Gosford this time gets a clearing kick out. Was it on the full? Excuse me. No, it wasn't. Play on. Glacken's there once more. Was it ridden into the back? Well, I thought it was, but it wasn't paid. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Almost true centre wing, just forward to true centre wing, David, with 15 minutes gone in this second quarter.
Lucas, I wonder if a couple of those low scores in Newcastle are due to wet weather.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
You mentioned that earlier on. That's because it's been a bit dry weather football here today. Out the ball comes from Josh Glacken. Off hands, out of bounds on the centre wing. Umpire Simon Macaulay over there in front of the multitude of cars here for football and netball and all the other things that happen in this very, very busy precinct of the Central Coast. And not a bad afternoon. Toz and Riggis. Miller that time actually in 37 into the ruck. That's good to see. Little short kick comes out and ended up being a decent kick. Pushed off that, I thought. Doyle. More hands. Roach! Another one, the Magpies. This is unbelievable. Wyong Lakes 6-7-43 with a goal to Roach. And Gosford 7-2-44. What's going on? What a turnaround. And whatever Michael Solomons has spoken to his players about at quarter time, I reckon what we've seen 13 goals at one end.
But it's not like what we've seen so far with that breeze. It's coming more coming more across the ground, and now there's none because the trees aren't moving at all. But it seems to be there is a prominent scoring end here at Adcock Park. We'll see if that continues for the rest of the afternoon. Toz and Rigas back resuming their battle. Stanton with a throw. Toz with a strong left hand this time. Gets it down to one of his rovers. I think that was Hillman that time. Pushed off the ball was King. Little scrubby soccer off the ground, trying to clear the area for Gosford. Can they get this ball out of here? They can't. In there is Eade. And is that Hillman once more? No, it wasn't. It was Ben Glacken that time. Also been handy for Wyong Lake in this resurgence in this second quarter.
Handy. They've kicked 5. Goodness me.
Toz. Another strong left hand out. Roved again by White. And Henderson once more. They've been Gosford's 2 best so far, in my opinion. Long into the forward 50. Looking for McFan. He's one out. And was that out of bounds?
I thought he'd kicked that into Moore, but obviously, yeah, because he hit Moore's lace out, and Moore was flying in the goal. This is remarkable. Gosford's now looking a step behind the play.
This has all been done in 15 or 16 minutes. There's still a good 8 or 9 minutes to go in this second quarter, David. It's been unbelievable 2 quarters of football.
It certainly has. Back into the ruck contest. Takes it out of the contest and ends up dropping it before he was tackled. I'm going to have to call this a naked eye. That's very hard. Now, I've got it now. McFan gets a handball out. Ball in dispute. Out of bounds on just off hands, I think. And umpire Macaulay will, pretty safe bet saying umpire Macaulay because both of the umpires are named gone. This is Simon. Menier in 50. Is that Heenley in 13 in this ruck contest?
Yes.
It is. Menier should have the bulk. Ball tap forward, Wyong Lakes. More in and under, left foot scrubber. Another one! Absolutely remarkable turnaround. Mitch McDonald this time. Wyong, and I do not believe I'm about to say this, the Magpies are in front. Wyong Lakes 7-7-49. Gosford 7-2-44. It's just extraordinary. And with thanks to our major sponsors, Hutter Haval, Belmont 16-footers, ISC, Awards Are Us, and Central Coast Sports and Physiotherapy. Lucas, what is doing here? So that's a 6-goal glut in 15 minutes. Gosford don't look like getting the ball past the centre.
Well, they haven't, David. It was exactly the same in this first quarter roles reversed, obviously. Shaping up to be a great game, just not in the way we imagined to begin with.
No, it's not. It's very skillful. It's been open football, great to call. Not door inside, lots of running. Both defences have really struggled at times.
Henderson gets the ball up. Gets in there, was Eads, swings around on that trusty left boot, going forward once again. Almost picked off, it wasn't this time. Gosford have got the numbers at the ground level, which they should do at that end of the ground. Is Sproul on that right boot. Will do well to keep that in, and does to Sproul, considering he wasn't balanced. No, that wasn't Hunt. Beg your pardon, it wasn't. Keaton Jones. Gets the ball forward now to Gosford. Can they make advantage of this entrance inside forward 50? They can't. Wyong have numbers at the drop of the ball. That was Glacken. Jones goes back. This is risky. Lander in the last line of defence. What can he do? Gets a good shepherd there to the outer side from Doyle. Lander goes long and high as he should at that part of the ground. His king almost takes his own man out. Doyle was dragged out without the ball. And Coop Folks puts a tackle on and gets the ball out of bounds on Henderson. Almost true centre wing here at Adcock Park. Great game. Wyong Lakes up by 5 with about 20 minutes gone in this second quarter, David.
Indeed. Jody Henderson, central umpire, gets his throw up. Not contested by Toz. The ball was a bit short for him, and they'll get a stoppage. And we'll have a boundary throw in. 20 and a quarter minutes gone in quarter number 2. During conversation corner at half time, we'll give you a bit of a score check around the grounds. Riggis and Toss. Toss left-handed. Thumps it out, actually. Ball goes forward into the half-forward line for Gosford. Barty, almost a push in the back, and umpire has paid exactly that. So Barty in front, goes off one step, goes with a short ball. Man running on very cleverly was Dietz, who is no fool, Brad Dietz. Played a lot of football. Another Warners Bay footballer in times gone past when his father was coach of the club, Lucas Holmes.
There's John now working at the Gold Coast Suns, David.
Indeed. Brad Dietz need this goal. Across the face and a behind. Gosford 7-3-45. Wyong Lakes 7-7-49. 21 and a quarter minutes gone in quarter number 2 here at Adcock Park in West Gosford. Lucas Holmes.
You, David. Kick in. Will play on immediately. Go to this outer side. Goes long with his right boot, as he should. Who's there at the drop of the ball? Gosford have got the numbers, but it's gone over the back. What can Wyong do here? Screws it round on his right boot, looking for territory as well. This Raslin does well with the shepherd, gets the hands out. They got one over the back here as Moore, but they can't quite get to him.
On the full.
And therefore Gosford will have a free kick deep in their back half. Who's it going to? It's been taken. Goes short with a kick. Great mark taken there. Miller, thank you, David. Miller goes short once again. Immediately plays around on his right side. It is Jewel Ferguson. Ferguson goes long. They got the numbers here. Coop Folks gets a hand in. Drop of the ball. What can they do? Goes almost back. It does go backwards to Glacken on that left boot. Glacken to be advised to play on it immediately. He does. Has second thoughts. Does what he should have done to begin with and goes to Jones further on this side. Has he played on? No. Gets called back around on his line. Carter Jones. Jones goes long. The spot of the 50. Gosford have got advantage in the air. 2-on-1. There's Glacken at the drop of the ball. Glacken evades one. Goes long. Does Glacken. There's no one in the goal square. Where's it going to bounce? It goes at right angles and will it go out of bounds?
Moore stayed on his feet, Louis. Kept it in. Kicks it square. Oh, dangerous here. Right at the end of the quarter for Gosford. Desperation stakes. Man well or clear. Oh, good effort there by Toz doing. Now, Jody Henderson's plucked a free kick out here. I missed the signal. Maybe holding the man. 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Gosford do not need to give away another. That is shanked terribly. And Braden Toss will take an uncontested mark just in front of centre wing. Goes square and short. Picks it up well. Coop Folks on the left. Where are the Rovers? There's no one there. Thompson's there. Gosford are going to do this comfortably. Remy goes long. Hillman's underneath this. Got to make a contest. Oh, lovely mark from the vastly experienced Hillman. Short ball is poor. And Gosford's now got a chance with 90 seconds to perhaps kick that ball forward. I think that the breeze is going right to left, Lucas. Just the way some of Gosford's kicks are falling short a bit. Just a slight breeze. Miller Smothered brilliantly Hillman, who's had a good last couple of minutes. Here's the voice of Jones. Back to Hillman. Intercept by Remy. Deets in front. Taps it over to himself. Who's going to get football back first here? Out of bounds. No, it's not landed. Little short lightning handball's effective. Keaton Jones gone. And paid. And that's going to be at the end of the quarter. A free kick. Here it is. Argy-bargy. Handbags at 10 paces. You're out of your weight division there, Deets, you reckon? And
Henderson.
Now, the pocket at this end, the pockets at this ground aren't very deep. So he's got a reasonable look at this. It is a tough kick. And this will end up possibly being the last kick of the quarter again. So Henderson, he's only going to kick from about 25 out. Let's have a look and see how it goes. So he shanked it terribly. It's behind. Gosford, 7-4-46. Wyong Lake, 7-7-49. And we've got about 15 seconds left, so this will just about be the score at the end of the quarter. Mitchell Leach should just kick this long, dispense with the frivolities, and there we go. So what a turnaround. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goals that quarter. Wyong Lake's in front, 7-7-49 to Gosford, 7-4-46. We'll have a couple of minute break and come back with that conversation corner and catch up with Lucas Holmes about a few things going on in football. Back with you shortly. Welcome back at halftime for Conversation Corner. Lucas Holmes, I have our very special guest, MG Redden, behind me here, talk about this particular subject at halftime. So I'm not going to give an opinion here. I've given mine. Lucas, a massive week in football, in particular at the Collingwood Football Club, with the suspension of Jaden Stevenson for 22 weeks, with 12 suspended, and a $20,000 fine.
Correct, yep.
You're a great Collingwood man. Okay.
Hat off. Yep.
Okay. You're a Collingwood man. It's interesting to talk to you about it. Stevenson was a fool and silly and stupid. Is a 22-week suspension, some of it suspended, and a $20,000 fine justified, reasonable, commensurate, or overblown?
Well, firstly, he's a 19-year-old man, and I think just in general, AF was high profile. He's not. I wouldn't say he's high profile, but he's got a profile some such, and most people that are involved in sporting codes, all of them in this country have got a profile. So they're under the...
Again, so can I just cut in there on that particular point? Every player that plays for Collingwood is a higher profile than almost every other footballer in Australia. And that's not grovelling. No. That's because they're a Collingwood player.
Yes, correct, And as I say, most sports players have a higher profile than most other individuals in the country. And because of that, they're under the microscope a lot more than any other 19, in this case, a 19-year-old person would be. And I think just in general, it's a fairly harsh penalty. I think, David, at 19 years old, everyone makes mistakes. I've done it. Well, not in that sort of vein, but I'm sure you've made a mistake as well. And in most cases, how people bounce back from those mistakes that ultimately make them, and how they change their futures to try and reflect the punishment that they've been given. In saying that, though, there had to be a penalty given. I think 22 weeks for something of that vein, yes, it's wrong. I think it's a touch harsh. If it happened maybe one, I don't know any previous cases of that matter. I'm sure you may, if there's been any, and there's punishments given out to them. When
I was speaking with Michael at halftime in the women's game, Heath Shaw got pinged and got 8 weeks, but in Heath Shaw's case, that ended up costing his Collingwood contract because they moved him.
They moved him.
Okay, so in that case, we'll come back to that. In that case, that's the one that's the most that I can remember the most.
Yeah, and I think what's put of things that hasn't helped him is there have been games that they've been involved in as well.
When we were speaking with Michael earlier on, I asked him, I said, what do you think was reasonable and fair? And I think 5 to 6 weeks came out as being a reasonable. 5 to 6 weeks and a $3,000 or $4,000 fine, I think was your exact words. Michael's sitting here behind me doing the Herald Crossy. The AFL has to act.
Yep.
Because when you get much more serious, you get into point shaving and all sorts of things.
Yep.
And there's all sorts of... Gambling on sports is a very topical issue.
Yes.
The players are warned and
educated. Yeah.
Stevenson's 19.
Yep.
And that fair enough, although that's not an excuse. Again, it's going to hurt. And it hurts Collingwood. And what happens is, as we were speaking about at halftime of the Women's game again, is that Stevenson will come back right for the finals to Collingwood pick him. And that's the next question.
And the thing is, because it was self-reported, and that was a penalty that was given. If it wasn't self-reported, imagine how. I assume the penalty would have been harsher than if it wasn't self-reported, and we were saying before that's a fairly hefty punishment who's been given. It would be immense, the punishment given if the AFL had done all the investigation in such, in terms of not being reported by Collingwood themselves.
I know that you watch football closely and monitor what's going on. What was your first reaction when you saw the Herald or the Age or whichever AFL site that you use?
Yep.
When you first saw this story come into the press, the domain of the press, what was, as a Collingwood man and a good football man, what was your first thought? Well, it
was almost in shock, because you see these being like on social media, might be part of like supporters groups or stuff or things like that, and you see. Not theories, but sort of headlines posted around that maybe the AFL are investigating something in regards to Jaden Stevenson. You're almost in shock. I've heard him speak with interviews and that he's a very humble young person. He's very well educated and that sort of thing. And he won the AFL Rising Star last year, David. At 19 years of old, he's got a very bright future ahead of him. So there's obviously something happened that's sort of, from his point of view, out of line that's led him from doing those point of things. And as I said before, as a 19-year-old man, you're bound to make mistakes, and the only way that you can sort of prove people wrong and regain that trust from that you've lost from people from actions like that is bouncing back and helping Collingwood have a long and successful finals campaign.
Tell our viewers how old you are.
21. So
you understand.
Yeah.
Look, Lucas, you've got a pie that's going to go cold there. I'll finish off. I'll give some scores. Thank you for your insights.
No worries.
Thanks to you, Michael, as well, for your opinions. I think it's important that our listeners hear us have an opinion, both Michael, myself, and you. And it's more so for the two of you because you both support Collingwood. I don't. In fact, I wouldn't support them in a pink fit. But I've got a different perspective on it because one of my
from that neutral point of view.
Yeah, and also the fact that Heath Shaw's gone through the same thing.
Yep.
Okay, so Lucas is going to have a quick feed before the start of the second half. Full score through for you. Wyong Lake 7-7-49 and Gosford 7-4-46. And Michael George behind me, who's got a Master of Arts and is a mathematician of some note, has pointed out to me that 7-7-49 is the only score in the AFL that's possible that can have a square, isn't it, Michael? 7-7-49? It's the only one? Is that what the reason you're pointing it out, 7-7-49? That's right, yeah. So 7-7's a foot. It's almost the only. It's not the only, but it's very close. Yeah, 7-7s are 49, and so interesting scores there. 49-46 here. It absolutely must be teeming down at Fayette Oval. Cardiff 3-4-22, Warners Bay 1-3-9. That's a half of football with 4 goals scored. Across the road at East Gosford, Terrigalloga 9-15-69, Singleton 1 behind. Maitland have come from the dead. They were 10 points behind. Maitland 6-4-40 to 4-8-32 over Nelson Bay. Profligate shooting by Nelson Bay. And in a very close game at Newcastle, number 1, our mates Michael Smith and Jimmy Newburn will be hanging on the edge of their seats at the moment. Newcastle City 3-6-24 coming off a loss last week. Kalani Bar 3-3-21. So interesting scores around. The only game that's not close is around the corner at Hilton Moore Oval, with Terrigalloga leading Singleton, who really do struggle away from home. They're a handful at Rose Point Park, but they're a totally different kettle of fish when they're at home. Away from home. Now, next week, Kendall, Louie and I will be at Max McMahon Oval in Rutherford, the much-developed and revamped Max McMahon Oval in Rutherford for Maitland and Gosford. Can't wait to call those games for you up there in the lower Hunter Valley. Good part of the world and a very rapidly growing place as well. 100,000 people in Maitland now. Gee, it's a big joint. And good community, love their footy. And beautiful jumpers. They're the only type of jumpers that I've seen of their kind anywhere in Australia. The Saints, who play in yellow with that St Kilda cross. Really good to look at. Just about ready to go in the third quarter here. Ryan Stanton, the prime possum, has the football. I should get back to online results and get ready for the clock. Kendall Clawson, our EP's on the camera. And looks like we're going to get through without any rain today, which is wonderful news. What a turnaround in this game. Wyong Lake's up by 3 points after absolutely being belted in the first quarter. Ryan Stanton's got the football. Rock and roll time, second half. And football to come out of the hand in a second. Toz and Rigas. And an infraction straight away. So someone's come into the square. There'll be a warning here. In fact, is it a free kick this time? So someone's even gone into the square, and that's still a free kick. Wyong Lakes get the free start straight from the centre. Braden Toss goes 45. Moore's spread and giving him some space. Dangerous if Moore does that. Goes forward. Oh, what a... Coop folks off Moore. You could not have asked for a better start for Wyong Lakes, and Gosford will be sitting there kicking themselves because they've given away a free kick from the centre bounce. Chris Coop, folks, will kick from no more than 25 metres out here. Smack bang in front. This will be the perfect start for the Maggies. Coop, folks, has kicked the goal, I reckon. And he has. What a start for Wyong Lakes. They've been gifted a goal, actually. That is a gift. Wyong Lakes, 8-7-55. Gosford, 7-4-46. 1 minute into quarter number 3. With thanks to Hunter Haval, Belmont 16-footers, ISC, Awards Are Us, and CFM, our wonderful sponsors. So Wyong Lakes up now by 9 points. And if you told me at the end of the first quarter that Wyong Lakes would be leading by 9 points, that I said you'd been hanging around with certain dodgy people in the centre of Gosford. So, unbelievable. Lucas has just about finished his beautiful pie.
It's beautiful, David.
I think it was. And I'll continue on for the moment.
Yep.
Toz and Rigas. In fact, that's Miller gone in. Toz again, killing in the centre. Moore misses it. Handball comes out, picked up Ferguson. Gets it forward. Little grubber kick, goes about 20 metres. Barty could have got a free kick for holding the man, and Jody Henderson's got exactly that perfect positioning from umpire Henderson. Barty. Gosford goes low. Oh, should have marked that, really. And it's still kicking off the goal ground, I reckon, and has. It's one of the Sproul brothers, just making sure to see which one.
Ali.
Because they're in 24 and 34. Louis, just waiting to see. If you could keep an eye on that for me, it's Alec. So, important goal for Gosford. Gosford, 8-4-52. Wyong Lakes, 8-7-55. And back to 3 points.
Just had an interesting conversation with Anthony Everson off air. David Ree, we're talking about before having that conversation around the out of bounds from the kick in, and if it was a genuine attempt, if it was kicked in the square, and it was a genuine attempt to find the player, and it went out of bounds without being touched, to be a throw in. But if it was judged to be deliberate out of bounds directly from the kick out, it would be a free kick to the opposing side.
Thank you, Patrick Murphy on his non-dominant left side. That ball's going to trickle out, I suggest, for an out-of-bounds throw-in. Perfect scenario for Gosford to get a stoppage here. 3 minutes into the third quarter, Wyong Lakes up by 3 points. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you, David. Still sun-drenched here at Gosford. Beautiful afternoon here. As you were saying before, not looking the case up in Newcastle. Simon Macaulay with the throw-in. Up it goes. Toz caught at the back this time. Still gets a right-hand tap out. Barty trying to reel around, and there's a whistle. And it's against Gosford. Not sure why. High contact, thank you, Ryan Stanton.
It's not against Gosford.
No, it's to so he's pointed his hand the wrong way then. So it's to Gosford and to the captain coach, Josh Barty, directly in front, no more than 20 metres out. Should be straightforward for Josh Barty. And is... No, it's point. Touched. Sorry, David. It must have been touched off the boot. Don't know how you do that from that close to goal. However, we move on. Gosford now, 8-5-53, trailing Wyong Lakes 8-7-55. Thank you. Long, booming left boot out of defence to this outer side. Toz almost splitting the pack. Landers at his feet. That was pushed in the back to Toz, but wasn't paid, and we'll have a boundary throw in. That was Colreevy going with Toz. And just to the right-hand side there. I think it might be Colreevy taking the ruck as well. Murphy and Hillman, that's an interesting matchup, David.
Oh, absolutely.
Toz gets a big left hand out again.
Over the shoulder.
Against Eade. It was there. Eade disagrees.
He does. Interesting, it was hip contact to the head, which is interesting. And he has got to pay the free kick. I mean, he doesn't like it, but he's Colreevy had earned that free kick. Yeah,
player safety is paramount, David. It goes over the back there. There's Henderson springing to goal. The ball's gone out of bounds for a throw-in. Right next to the point post here. With 5 minutes gone in this third quarter. Going to be a terrific finish here at Adcock Park. Plenty of time to come down still to support AFL Hunter Central Coast. Round 10 going into the back half of the season now. Give that one just to Rigas, actually. Toss butters up for more. Turns around on the right boot. Gets directly smothered straight away. Lander gets a scrappy handball out. Toz looking for Casburn, overshoots him. But I think that's a better option. They get a ball out of bounds. And we'll have another boundary throw in, David. Over to you.
Thank you, Lucas. 5.5 gone. Wyong in the third quarter. Wyong Lakes up by 2 points. Very good game of football here at Adcock Park. Miller gets that one out and should have got a free kick against Toz for over the shoulder as well. Doesn't. Hill went out to his mate Moore. Gee, those two combine well. Down the line. Lovely grab under an enormous duress. Roach, who's a very big, strong man. Hard to defeat when he gets in front. Big unit.
Donald was scrumming for it to go laterally, but he goes to Eade instead, David, down the line.
Eade works for the AFL, does a great job he does in this area. Development officer. Had a good talk, had a good time with him there, Lucas, at Wyong Lakes when we were over there for the day. He came into commentary, did a wonderful job. That's holding the ball and not called. Everson decides that he didn't have much prior and gets up very slowly. Is that Lander? No, it's not Lander. Got a 3 at the end of his number. It could be Ben Glacken.
Glacken, yep.
Toz and Miller. Miller's a bit taller and will make a contest. Does this time. Out towards Raslin and out of bounds. Almost pure centre wing right in front of that beautiful forward ute over there on the far side. Got a bit of work on that one. So Miller. Interesting where McDonald's right behind it. See if Toz goes back over his shoulder. No, he doesn't. He goes forward and hits Hillman, who's a beautiful reader of the football. Smothered. Raslin. Held it off Murphy. Ball beats Eade. Now, is that out on the full, Louis? No, it's out in the bounce. Play just becalmed at the moment. You can see the centre circle there. So we're almost pure right on centre wing. Outer side. Now, Eade's got the footy here. Now, Mitchell Eade's... I think he thought that, the ball's got wet. So the ball's gone into the water. There's been a puddle over there. That's why he was drawing it off. Yeah, just over to the right. Good call. So Toz and Miller. Miller's making a good contest in there. He's the same size as Toz, which is a good contest.
He's dragged that back in, David.
He's in trouble if he holds it. And Everson says, I'll have that, thank you. Again, 15 years old, making your debut in a Central Coast derby. He's done a good job. I know he's old man sitting near us, but he's actually been quite solid today. I don't think he's made too many errors at all. In fact, the umpiring's been pretty good today. It's been no fuss, no bother. And whenever Ryan Stanton's around, the game tends to be umpired reasonably well.
Very good sort of player manager, David.
He talks to people, he manages, he's experienced, and he just when you don't notice the umpires, that's what I want in my games. And when they have to make a decision, they're going to make a decision. That's what it's about. Toz gets on hands and knees, gets a handball out. Raslin's got to get rid of it, does. Eade gets the arms free, gets an effective handball out to Lander, down centre wing. Very bruising bump came in there. Now Lander's got that out and propelled it more, about 20 metres forward. Very slow start to this quarter. Just a 1 goal each. We're 8 3/4 minutes into the quarter. Wyong Lakes up by 2 points. Anyone's game at the moment. With it's completely calm at the moment. The breeze is gone. Toz left-handed. Kick comes forward. I was obscure as to who that was. And we have... I think this one might be out in the full. The way Jody Henderson's put his right arm out. Yep, the Cook folks will probably stand at the mark. No, more will. Straight down the outer wing. Long ball. Good kick. Mark trying to be taken by Jones at the back. Just got touched by the man in front. Roach tries to beat Blakes. Gets a left foot to it. That's all legit. Oh, good grab, Doyle. Nathan. Will try and find McPhee. No, he doesn't. Goes to Roach, who's a natural lefty. And that's poor, really. Touched by the man in front. And, that is not holding the ball. That player has... The rules of football say that if you get a touch call, you get no prior. That's not holding the ball. Anyway, sorry, I disagree, but that's life. We'll move on. Lee Moore, Lucas. Deep in the pocket. Deep in the pocket. Shanked and off hands. Luckily, no goal. Wyong Lakes, 8-8-56. Gosford, 8-5-53. Lucas.
Huge, David. Ball being brought in now. Manuel, been the linchpin in Gosford's defence this afternoon. Goes to the outer side, gets smothered. Where is the ball going to hit the ground? Doyle tries to get a hand on it, tries to propel the ball forward. In and under is more where he's so good. Sniping on the ground, gets a handball out, goes long and high. Manuel's at the back, he's trying to get it shepherded over the line. Doyle at the ground again, he taps it to his own advantage. Goes long and high. Is it 15 metres? Or
There's
is a whistle
from the non-dominant umpire, Lucas.
So is it late? Yeah, so he's been disposed of late.
Well, that's a downfield free kick with a better position, isn't it?
Because it was after disposal, yes, and that's where you see Jody Henderson trying to spot the ball where the ball landed. and that's where the mark will be paid.
So again, can you run through our viewers
Yep.
what the decision was and why the free kick's there, please?
So the Wyong Lakes player had made the disposal and kicked the ball and was taken out late. And because it was after the disposal, it's where the ball had landed, and that's where the spot of where the ball had landed after he kicked it.
Thank you. Lucas Hams, our Warners Bay plate umpire for the season this year, doing a good job. Had the pleasure of umpiring with a great man a few weeks ago. The poor fellow had to put up with me for 20 minutes.
It was good fun, David.
It was. I enjoyed it immensely. And Tim Hillman, I think, has got the kick here, Lucas. Smack bang in front. And Gosford could be made to pay for an indiscipline act, just like there was a free kick down here for an indiscipline act as well. So Hillman should put this through. He's a good professional, senior pro type player. And he has missed. Commentators Moz, red and get strikes again. Wyong Lakes 8-9-57. Gosford 8-5-53. Manuel plays on immediately. Combox side. Oh, well done. And that's out there to Roger. 2 quick kicks in there at 10.5 forward. Big contest of players. Henderson gets it out. Belted out in defence. Shouldn't be holding the ball because he didn't have prior. Coop folks in and under. Oh, well done. One more handball away and they're away, but Gosford are good enough to get it out of there. Roger. In and under there, 37's Laxer. The big man, he's a big bear of a unit, the big fella. Oh, double handball. He might get a third here. No, he doesn't. Lander's got to get rid of that. It wasn't Lander. There's Laxer in 37. Out here, Gosford putting enormous pressure on. Out from King. Marky Tom gets on. Yeah, this is the last minute of punch came out. Jill Ferguson, burly character. In and under. Oh, desperation, showing how desperate this game is. 4 points into it. Lander in and over the football. At the back, Lander's going to get a kick out now and clears the area temporarily. Gosford need that. The Wyong Lakes need that ball out. That's an excellent kick, and it's not deliberate. Well, probably it could have been, but anyway. 13.25 minutes gone, and what a game of football have here. It's the goal kicking slowed down as the players have got more tired. This is Clark and Toz. Toz over his shoulder to Hillman. Couldn't pick it up, Hillman. Left foot comes out. Oh, good push out. Right at that's the upper body strength of Roger coming into play there. You can see he's well chiseled and just used his hands effectively. Now, Roger's going to be kicking from no more than the arc's 40 here, probably 30 to 35 out, if that dead set in front. No angle at all. And this is to put Gosford back in front, Lucas James.
Sure is, David. Roger, been influential in the last 5 minutes or so. And he's kicked it, David. Puts, as you said, Gosford back in front now. Gosford 9-5-59, leading Wyong 8-9-57.
Awards R Us were established over 25 years ago. They pride themselves on an ability to supply high-quality work and personal professional service. David and Lisa are experienced in fulfilling the most complex needs of their clients. Special deals available for all Hunter Central Coast AFL clubs.
Sure are, David. Awards R Us. So Eid comes back into the middle. It's been good in this last passage of play. It's Eid. Toz, and was Clark into the ruck. Interesting change. One of our first looks at him this afternoon. Toz clearly that time. Moore was trying to run past. Couldn't quite get there. Toz butters up for Moore off the ground and gets shoved out. Eid comes storming through the middle. Takes on one too many. Gets his hands out, however. Toz at the back of his rover. Gets tackled and gets dispossessed. The big kick comes out, but Lander intercept marks. Where do they go? Wheels around to this right side. Does Lander. Comes straight to us. Here's McDonald and Roach. However, not there. There's Manuel minding them. Here comes Moore. Bust through one, tackle goes deep inside forward 50, looking for McPhan. Can't quite find him. McPhan battles up for more. Hillman's there as well. He's ducked his head, trying to pick the ball up, so that's fine. Ducked his head, did Henderson as a size mismatch, and there'll be a ball up about 35 metres out from Wyong's goal. So we're having some difficulties over here. Toz gets his right hand out. In and under is Hillman sniping. Here's Eid. What can Eid do? Goes looking for the ball out the back. Luckily gets a handball. He was pinged otherwise for holding the football. Raslin breaks the tackle, gets a shot on goal. Just bounces prior to the boundary line, so we'll have a boundary throwing deep inside Wyong Lakes forward 50, David.
Updates for you. Cardiff have kicked away. They're leading Warners Bay by 24 points at Fayan. Terragavoka leading by 97 over Singleton. Nelson Bay's come back in that game and kicked 4 goals in a couple of minutes. Nelson Bay up by 19 points. And Killarney Vale hanging on in Newcastle City, very tight. 6 points of difference at Newcastle #1 Sports Ground. Lucas Holmes.
We said at the end of that game last week, you wouldn't want to be playing City this week after their performance against Terrigal last week, David, but they seem to be going all right to Killarney Vale. And it was a downfield free kick once again, David, I imagine.
That is undisciplined. With the game at this exact juncture, you can't afford stupidity.
You can't, David. And from that resulting free kick, he's at the front there is Dietz. What can Dietz do? Gets his handball out maybe just, and will be pinged for kicking in danger? Was he? No. Boundary throw in as Dietz gets that ball over the line in front of Toz. And Toz will take contest duties, as you'd imagine, or he's been rucking by himself all day. McPhern's taken 1 or 2 in their forward half, but that's about it so far. David, as you expect Toz all over the ground.
He's got fitter as the season's gone along too. He really does look in good nick at the moment, Braden Toz. I'm sure the confidence he got at a representative football will do him the world of good. Getting in there and going so well. Away come the Maggies. Great tackle, however. Who's put that? Is it Jules Ferguson?
Yep.
And
on Keaton Jones.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, given his build, if Jules Ferguson's played some other codes of football, because he's a very effective tackler, and his build is that of like a hooker or a front rower. And now he's going to kick. He's almost as well smack bang in front. He's going to kick from about 40 to 45 out. The benefits of tackling. Jules Ferguson slices it off to the right. Gosford, 9-6-60. Wyong Lakes, 8-9-57. 17 and 3/4 minutes gone in the third quarter. Breeze just starting to wake its way back in. There's a free man out here. And Lander's on for him as well, but he's going to ignore him. And Jones is going to go down the line as far as he can. Kicks it on top of Toz's head, and he takes a good, strong ruckman's mark at half-back flank. Turns around, wheels off with a lovely driving ball. A perfect precision kick. Doyle's handball was too fast, but they make good of that one. McPhern! No, just dropped it at the death. Well done, Gosford. Oh, needs to get that handball off the roach, and he's away. Almost over the shoulder, not paid. Desperate times. Oh, Hillman out of midair and out of bounds on the full. Maybe you would want to rethink that again. It's going to give Gosford a stoppage. And Remy's going to go back deep in the back line. Right near the behind post. McPhern on the mark. He's got to be in line with the back of the square. Not sure if he really was, but anyway. He's gone square. Finds Dietz at back pocket. Again goes down the line. Well worked, Gosford. Over towards Hamish Sproul. Smothered or kicked into the man of the mark. One of the two. Well done, Raslam, for staying alive. And we've got a ball half forward flank for the Wyong Lakes Football Club. Down by 3 points to Gosford. Just the 3 goals this quarter. And Gossett up by 3 points, Louis.
Thank you, David. Bit of a lull this game, as you were talking about before. Toz is there. Clark's remain with him for the best part of this third quarter. Here's Remy. Screws around on his right boot. Looking for Murphy. Can't quite get him. Glacken keeps the ball in. Back Eid trying to find Glacken back to him. But goes out of bounds in front of a few spectators there, trying to get the last Razor's son for the day. Speaking of night football, David, ripper tonight at the Adelaide Oval. Port Adelaide and the high-flying Cats at the moment. 2 games clear on top of the AFL ladder. Should be a great game. Roach applies a tackle in and under. There's Toz. That's what you want your ruckman to do these days. Raslin applies another tackle. Eid, you won't be getting away from him, even if you're Patrick Murphy, and we'll have another stoppage. About 5 or 10 metres in from the boundary there, David. 20 minutes gone in this third quarter.
Yeah, Port and Geelong over there at Adelaide, that'll be great. Geelong favourite. So.
Yeah, Port have a few players in, but Geelong, as you said before, have been going along very nicely so far. Around 14 of the AFL season.
My boys have got a week off, which they need. Long ball coming in. Long ball. That ball's gone 60. Landers shepherds it over the boundary line.
Yeah, has some re-emergence and some injuries down there at Tom Willis Oval. Lockie Whitfield being a main one.
Big talk during the week of Whitfield and Cornelio getting offered big money to go to a certain Navy Blue club at Princes Park. I can tell you now that Cornelio won't go there. If he leaves, he'll go to one of the Perth clubs because that's where he's from.
Yeah.
Of course, Canelio was part of the. He's an elite cricketer and played junior cricket for Western Australia. So very interesting to see where he ends up.
Class player too. He's come to the fore since some of those players have left to go to other clubs, David.
Including Adam Treloar and Dylan Shield and players like that. Treloar's a big pickup for Collingwood, I reckon, the last few years. Lee Moore down the line. Hillman and Jewel Ferguson. That's an interesting matchup. Hillman's got him by about 6 inches. Hands it out. Roach, he's got a good left foot. Up 1-on-1. McFadden's got the set. Takes a mark.
White had slipped, I think, David. Lost his footing. And
the reason if you see this on replay, go and watch just the subtle action. I reckon McFadden's just cleverly got him off balance, and he fell over, and he's a bigger man than White, too. It's a big ask for White. McFadden goes back and kicks the goal that puts Wyong Lakes back in front. Justin McFadden second. Wyong Lakes, 9.963. Gosford 9.660 in an absolute thriller. It's on Bar TV. It's great to call games like this, isn't it, Lucas?
Sure is, David. Continues this seesawing battle we have here at Adcock Park. Sure does. Plays like Justin McFadden, don't miss those very often at all.
No, he's a good kick.
Sure is. Toz back into the ruck. Been solitary for most of the days we're talking about before. Give that one to Toz just. Almost came off for Clark that time. Here's Glacken. Can Glacken get the ball down? Was looking for Toz. Almost takes the legs out of his opponent. However, it was not paid. That's an interesting one. Lander playing off the back of the square where we're so used to seeing the linchpin and the defence for either Kalani Vale as he was last season or now for Wyong Lakes, David. Ball gets smothered there. Here's Sproul. Gets a fend on. Luckily gets his kick on and goes almost sideways. Murphy gets a tap out. Glacken was pulled without the ball and is clutching somewhere. Was he making his way to a bench? No, he's not. Maybe just a bit sore. And Luxor at the bottom of the pack this time. Give that one to Clark just. However, Toz stays with it. Loses the ball in the air. Luxor with a legal tackle in the end, so that's fine. Play on. Murphy gets a scrubbing kick forward. Here's Roger. He's really come to the fore in the last 10 minutes or so. That ball's going to get trapped in the bottom of the pack by Keaton Jones. Is he going to get pinged? No.
You wonder whether it was going through the umpire's mind. Lander, to me, is playing confident football. This is the best I've seen him play. He's been quite good today. Yes, he made the big move over when Michael Solomon's came across the wall.
Ooh, that's what that rule was brought in for, I thought.
Oh, that's ugly.
Yeah. Contact below the knees. That's what we're talking to there, ladies and gentlemen. Give that one to Roach. Strong upper body. Gets a handball off. Intercepted. That was almost scooped there by Doyle. I tend to agree with you that time, David. Gives it off to Roach on his natural left foot. There's White at the back of the pack. White and Moore. That's an intriguing battle. 2 contested balls. And goes long and high. Eade holds the ball. Is looking for the handball quickly, but decides against it. Eade goes to almost across the ground now. Gets bundled out of it, not paid. Probably looking for it there. Remy sees it out. Manuel gets down there. Here's McDonald. Can he get it off the ground or use his upper body strength? And there's Moore at the back. Very well sniping done there by Lee Moore, staying in the plays he so often does. Now, Kits Wong into the lead once more. 10-9-69. Gosford 9-6-60.
ISC have been at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel from grassroots to elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the preferred apparel supplier of the Hunter Central Coast AFL for the 2019 season. You could just see Moore staying alive, and crash ball. He is a clever player. He really is. He's one of the league's premium rovers. Pure rovers.
Pure.
Jack Grimm and Matt Spinks. There's others, but he is a pure rover, and he's very, very clever at it.
Sure.
Should be three-quarter time siren coming in a second, Louis.
Sure is. Another goal right on the brink of a break, and there it is. Three-quarter time here at Adcock Park. Once again, your final scores for this three-quarter time break. Wyong Lakes 10-9-69, leading Gosford 9-6-60. David and I, once again, I'll take a quick 2 or 3 minute break, and we'll be back with you for the conclusion of this round 10 Bar TV Sports match of the day between Gosford Tigers and the Wyong Lakes Magpies. See you shortly.
Quick update from the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Melbourne and Fremantle dead set tied at 59 points apiece, 25 minutes into the third quarter. Very important for Fremantle to continue winning away. They've had some good away form this year. They beat the Giants in Canberra. They've had another win in Melbourne, I believe.
Beat Collingwood. Michael Walters once again after the just prior to the siren.
I'd forgotten it was Collingwood. I should have mentioned that from the start.
Thanks, David. Sure is, Anthony. He's cool out there.
Wyong having the last important chat. They've got a break shortly. They've got the sirens. And 9 points in difference. Quickly, Lucas Holmes, could you run through the scores for us, please?
Cardiff 6-6-42, leading Morris Bay 1-5-17, Fane Oval. Terrigal Avoca 17-22, 124, leading Singleton 1 point at Hilton Moore Oval. At Max McMahon Oval, Maitland 7-4-46, now trailing Nelson Bay 9-12-66. And that close game at Newcastle No. 1 Sports Ground continues. Newcastle City 3-11. You can just see how much that weather's played a part, David. 29, leading Killarney Vale 3-5-23.
And if the wind's blowing at that place, it's very hard to score, as we've seen in grand finals. One of my jobs during this quarter will be to keep our viewers and you, Lucas Holmes, up to date with all those scores, particularly those close games. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, David. Also having to judge a Subway Morissette best player for this game as well. We'll come to that later on. Give that one to Toz. Miller's gone into the ruck this time for a little bit of a chop out. And we'll have an immediate ball up just to the back of the centre circles here at Adcock Park on the edge of the cricket block here. Henderson once again, up we go. Miller that time over the top. One of the few times today Toz has been beaten. Gosford go long and high, almost an unrealistic attempt there at the back. However, it's not paid. There's Jewel Ferguson to the bottom of the pack. Almost loses his feet, as we were talking about. It was so important before. Screws that ball around. Is he going to keep it in? He's kicked.
No way!
No, he hasn't. Almost ran out of legs at the end, and Lander did well on his feet to scoop it up. Here's King. Keeps his feet that time. So rather it was Dietz that time. Sorry, Brad. Keep this ball going. Here's Carter Jones on that right boot. Gets a scrubby one out. Here's Doyle flying down that right flank. Who's he found? Toz smartly gets his way out of it. Lets his mate McFan in. And a mark taken. Once again, that's a big one, isn't it? McFan to Coop Folks. That's a big one. And Chris Coop Folks looking for his first goal of the afternoon. Had a few scoring opportunities. Yet to convert, however. And here he goes. Still a long way out, Coop Folks. See how he can do. About 45 metres out. Coop Folks keeps it low to evade the breeze, and he's kicked it, David. Coop Folks with his first puts Wyong further into the lead. Now leading 11-9-75 to Gosford's 9-6-60.
The Central Coast #1 station for hits and old school is 101.3 CFM. Wake up with Gaundy and Ash Pollard for breakfast, full of pranks, real talk and passion for the community and local initiatives. Start your day with Gaundy and Ash Pollard from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. weekdays. Now, 15 points of difference. Gosford have really, if you look at that,
yep.
Since the first quarter, it's been almost all one-way traffic. And I think it's going to be hard for Gosford to win. I think one more goal and Wyong are home.
So I think the next goal is critical in this point of the game, David, as Hillman gets evaded there from the tap from Toz. In there is Raslin trying to apply pressure. Henderson's probably been one of the better 2 or 3 for Gosford today as Carter Jones chops out at centre half back. Goes wide to Glacken. Gets behind the mark to Glacken. I thought about going down the corridor initially, I think, but goes the smart, safer option goes long and wide to Lachlan White on the half-back flank. Here's Doyle, steps inside, goes to Toz on his unnatural right, goes back to Doyle, goes long to Doyle! But just to the near side. Another point for Wyong Lakes, 11-10-76. Gosford 9-6-60.
3 minutes gone in the... with I think that's Ali Mertens at the back there in the umpire's jacket. It is 3 minutes gone in the last quarter. Manuel, this dependable fullback, comes out wide. He's got the chance here. He might shep it off and use that body for...
He's ducked his head, so it should be play on.
It should have been a free kick, actually. Raslin. Good contest there. Got to make an attempt to get rid of it. Stanton will rule that he had no prior. And we have a ball up. Half forward flank for the Maggies. Trying to get the nominated ruckman in here. Here comes Braden Toz. He should win this contest. Doesn't. great leap by King. And that is Glacken. Yeah, that was rough. And he's going to get up. He could have been quite significantly hurt there with a slamming. It's almost a slam tackle, really.
Yeah.
Umpire Macaulay with the football. Stanton is just giving out instructions. Good tap out, Miller. Oh, dropped it, I thought, Casburn. And out of bounds again. This is all fine for Wyong Lakes. Gosford need to open the play up and kick quick goals, Louis.
You take some risks through that centre corridor, David. Ball's been stuck on this side for the majority of the day with that breeze, as you'd expect. Toz just gets that one out to Glacken. Goes inside to Hillman on his non-preferred left, and Moore takes a mark. Immediately plays on to central the ball. Smartly does that to his mate and McFan. They've got the kick. Coop Folks is trying to start some, but they've got the free kick. They need to walk away from that one. Roach going in at the background as well.
Yeah, I reckon whoever was up again, I think it was on the Sproul Brothers.
He's
out of his weight division. And
by some.
I wouldn't be turning on James Roach.
McFan steadying and misses. They were confident, but he's missed it. Another point for Wyong Lake, stretching their lead now to 17 points with 5 minutes gone in this fourth quarter. Once again, be ball back in by Manuel. Surveying his options. Coop Folks on the mark. Manuel goes to this outer side. Tries to get over the back. Jones does well to smother. Gets his hand out. Goes long down this flank. Have they got open the back if they can? Here we go. Oh, they've got the speed on the background. Here we go. End to end, coast to coast. That's what you want.
Hunt.
And that was Hunt, the late in, his first goal of the day. And here come the Tigers. They need the next couple, David. And Gosford back in the game now, 10-6-66. Wyong Lakes, 11-11-77.
And that's one of the advantages of playing at this particular ground is the transfer of the football is so quick that you can be out of deep in defence to an attack so quickly.
1.5, 2 kicks.
Yeah, and it's unlike other ground. The only other ground in the league that we call out that used to be was Hillsborough, which is about the same size, but thankfully we're not there anymore. We're at the wonderful Pasterfield. But that's one of the advantages of knowing this ground. Ball comes out. Dietz gets the ball out of the centre. Good clearance for him. Glacken. Ends up swinging that square. Now, Raslin does very well there to almost trap that football. Eade, as usual, goes to hands. He's got a very good set of hands. Glacken, that's going to be out of bounds in the full, I would suggest, and Manuel will take a kick. So the pivotal goal that we were speaking about 3 minutes ago is kicked by the Gosford Football Club. Game is still very, very much alive. Manuel short chipping ball and picked off by Moore. Should have taken the mark. Sees your mate coming. Ends up not going into the contest cleverly. And Ryan Stanton says, I'll have that football. Now, is Braden Toz going to get across? He will. For this contest, 7 minutes gone.
Back into the right goes Rigas as well, David.
Thank you. Rigas in there. Glacken going to get that up to the hot spot. Where's McFan? There he is sitting underneath it. In front where he needs to be. Sproul in front. Hamish. Good Shepherd White. Straight down the spine. He's aggressive. Carter Jones goes 45 degrees trying for Roach. That's Alex Sproul in front. Coop Folks comes through and gets him high. And gets a free kick, Sproul. And he's not in a good way. I would suggest to you he's in trouble. Yeah. He is struggling, and, yeah, I would suggest they need to get him off, Louis.
It's one of those glancing blows, David.
Yeah.
Lucky it couldn't have gone. It could have gone much worse. At the back there, fly from Jones, unsuccessful this time. Bounce of the ball goes to Gosford. Hack ball for this Raslin, and it drops further in front. Thompson. And off they go. Thompson, sorry. Thanks, David. Plays on immediately. They go long, Gosford, to this close side. Is it picked off? No. Drop of the ball. There's numbers for both sides. Raslin's there. And so was Keaton Jones that time at the bottom of the pack. And another dangerous area for Gosford here. For Wyong, rather. About 25 metres out, directly in front of their goals. Toz gets a thumping handball back. So does King back in the other direction. Here's Henderson. Quite a scrappy kick. Didn't get all of it. thumped immediately out. Could have almost taken the mark then unless it wasn't the required distance. Back inside. Here's King once again. Does he get it back? No, it was marked on the line by Hillman. Lumbers away, does Hillman. Where's this ball going to come? That was almost unrealistic there from McDonald. However, it wasn't paid. Here's King once again. That's almost holding the ball. Gets pulled off the ball. There's 2-on-1 here. Who's going to win this? Here's Roach. Goes around on his left side. Gets taken to the point of contact, at the point of disposal. That was fine. Sprout gets his opponent out of the way legally with a bump in the side. Here's Glacken. What can Glacken do? Goes one side, goes left, goes right, goes back to his right-hand side. McPhan gets taken out after disposal, gets held on to, and he'll get a free kick because of that. And they'll have another shot on goal. Patrick Murphy trying to remonstrate, but it's a free kick every day of the week.
The reason that they're remonstrating is that they feel that McPhan had a perfect opportunity to get rid of the football, and they were asking how he's actually got rid of the football before he was
held on.
That's
to.
right.
Okay,
so that's what was Murphy's remonstrating for.
That's fair enough. He's got a point there. McPhan. Is that called a go? Or
no.
There's a whistle there. Maybe time back on. That's what it must have been. McPhan, what does he do? Goal umpire has not moved, David. That's almost a nail in the coffin now, you'd think. Gets it back to outside 3 goals. Wyong, 12-11-83. Gosford, 10-6-66.
Lucas, that's 17 points. What's your mathematics, mate? Is that outside 3 goals?
Just inside 3 goals.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Lucas.
David.
I'm very glad you do a communications degree, not a mathematics degree,
you.
my friend. Belmont 16-footers is located on picturesque Lakes Macquarie. It's one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook. It's the home of the AFL Hunter Central Coast, and the Elliot Davey Medal Night will be there on Wednesday, September 4, with Holmes and Redden, the deadly duo, in attendance. Lucas Holmes.
Shall be. Thank you, David. Margin 17 points, just inside 3 goals. We go back again. Tyler gets his ball forward to Doyle. Doyle has a flying shot on goal!
Wow.
Now it's outside 3 goals, David.
Yes,
Doyle.
I think that's his third.
For his third. Nathan Doyle been very good this afternoon for the Wyong Lakes Football Club. Wyong Lakes 13-11-89. Gosford 10-6-66.
Since Gosford kicked the first 6 goals of this game.
Yep.
And Wyong Lakes has kicked 13 of the next 17. It's been, since the start of the second quarter, an amazing performance by the Maggies. And considering where they are on the ladder, Gosford are going to be ruining this because they could have put another game on Singleton today. Singleton's getting a touch up around the corner.
Especially with the percentage now, it's starting to mount up on them a touch as well.
Oh, yeah, a touch, but it's a big win for Wyong Lakes. I'm assuming they get home. Ties into the centre, over Riggis. Hillman, who's been superb today. Actually, Subway Morrison's going to be very hard today.
It's been a very even and flowing performance as we've touched on all afternoon.
Correct. Everson with the football.
Nathan Doyle will be right in that conversation now as well, I think, David.
Yep. Fires a wonderful tap out. That's an interesting tap. Yeah, almost. I agree with you, Lou. That was almost a throw. Remy. Lovely work to Jewel Ferguson. Laxer. That's 50, is it? No, it was a netball whistle. He's in trouble now. He gets rid of it. Goes straight down the spine. Barty, who's been quiet for a quarter. Ferguson. Over here to Hunt. He's trying to get that ball to Dietz deliberately. Now Dietz turns his man. Oh, kick that goal, Dietz. That is brilliant. Just waiting the goal umpire. That is superb play by Brad Dietz. Vastly experienced player. And that is a much-needed goal. Gosford, 11-6-72. Not bad shooting. Wyong Lakes 13-11-89. With thanks to our sponsors, Subway Morrison, Central Coast Physiotherapy, ISC, and Tyre Power, Lucas Holmes.
And they're not giving up, are they, the Tigers, David? Came back once again. We thought the game was starting to get beyond them.
It was good teamwork there.
It was.
Oh, Diesel, the wonder dog's here. There he is, the great man. He's there. That's the White family dog, Diesel. He's about 16 years old, and he's a legend. He is. Great fella. Had the pleasure of interviewing the White family. They're good people, the Whites, Lucas Holmes. Good football people. More brilliantly off Toz. Doyle, who's been terrific today. Oh, he couldn't from there. Oh, man, he's just missed that. That is just at the last minute curved away behind. In fact, it hit the post. Wyong Lakes 13-12-90. Gosford 11-6-72. Push back. Yep. That is a blatant push in the back. Stevie Wonder could have called that. So Nathan Doyle limping a bit. Again, I'll stand corrected. I think he was either I think he may have been the New South Wales under-19 cricket captain. I believe.
Doyle goes long at the back.
And then McFan. It's interesting what's hard to pick McFan. He's got rid of the Mo. Cook Foams has gone with the Mo, and he's gone without it. So, Justin McFan to kick his. I've got him as 3, Louis. Do you agree with that?
McFan with.
I've got him at 3 anyway. I've got
Okay.
him as 3. I know your mathematics isn't your strongest suit, so
Thank you.
that's all right. McFan, who's come into the game much more in the second half.
You're correct, David.
Thank you. 14 minutes gone. McFan, goal umpire to quote Lucas Holmes, does not move. Wyong Lakes, what a performance this has been. 14-12-96, Gosford 11-6-72. Lucas, if you take the chief commentary role, I will go and get scores ready for updates for you from both the Black Diamond Football League and also from Melbourne and Fremantle at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. So over to you, sir, and I'll have scores
David.
Ready when you have a break, please.
Thank you. Back to the middle. Been a resounding win, I think, in this ruck battle to Toz, as you'd probably expect going into this game. Put up a good fight, the ruck tandem of Gosford, however. Toz gets the thumping right fist out in the direction of Doyle. Doyle sweeps back onto his right. Lovely cultured kick there from Hillman in the direction of Moore. Gets pushed. Is it out of bounds or in the back? No, it's out of bounds because the ruckmen are now nominating.
Just quickly, 5 minutes into the last quarter, Melbourne up by a point at the MCG, 66-65 over Fremantle, 5:21 gone in the fourth quarter. Lucas James.
Thank you, David. Boundary throwing this time. Simon Macaulay on the far side. Riggis and Toz once again. Give that as a marginal, that one. Edith evades one tackle, shrugs another one, gets it long and high inside forward 50 for Wyong Lakes. Here are the charges at the ground. Oh, great pick up there from Manuel. Gets Gosford coming forward. They need more of this. Can they get the bounce of the ball? They can. Here's King. What can King do? Goes over the back looking for Miller. However, it's Dietz. Miller running decoy and not taking much time is Dietz. And he slots it through. Or has he? He has. Brad Dietz' second goal for the afternoon. Gosford 12-6-78, trailing Wyong Lakes 14-12-96.
For our viewers and listeners, don't know. It's an amazing day at Fane Oval. Cardiff 9-7-61, Warners Bay 1-6-18. Terrigal up by 120 goals over Singleton. Maitland, wow, that bottom score's interesting. Maitland 9-4-58, hanging on with Nelson Bay 11-12-78. But that's the potential that will be the first time the Kalani Bowl has beaten Newcastle City in years if they get up. Newcastle City, ladies and gentlemen, 4-15-39. Kalani Vale 5-5-35. We'll keep an eye on that for you.
Back to we go. Eade goes thumping on that right boot and taking one grab by Roach. Tumbling kick inside forward 50 from Mitch Eade, but taken with one grab. Great mark in the end by Roach.
Where has this been all season from the Maggies? They should be fighting for that top 6.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe they can get a run going, but This has been impressive.
And there's Roach. Answers back again. Second goal for James Roach for the afternoon. Wyong Lakes 15-12-102. Gosford 12-6-78.
This has been a fascinating game to watch the ebbs and flows. In particular, it was almost, I think I mentioned on air, Gosford had a yard on them in the first quarter. They were just too fast.
Well, and that stemmed from their defensive. There was Henderson laid 2 holding the ball tackles out of the centre clearances that really got them going for the afternoon. And that sort of pressure around the football sort of eluded themselves in this last 2.5 quarters or so, in my opinion, David.
Fair enough, Louis. I can't disagree. Toz and Riggis. Riggis gets that one down with the right hand. Hillman, who's been brilliant. Moore, who's also been very handy today. Back to full fitness.
Was that downfield? No.
Not called. Perhaps should have been. Not happy with the Gosford play the one. Ducked his head. Won't be a free kick. Handball comes out. King. Been listening to Lucas Holmes too long. Hillman will take another mark. And for mine, he's firming as the Morisset player of the day. And telling them to play tempo football. He's got his 7 or 8 seconds to take his kick. Goes long. Roach in a 1-on-5. Nearly takes that mark. Moore roving brilliantly. Pushing the back. Not called. Held in. And umpire Henderson says, I'll have that, thank you. 16 minutes gone in the last quarter. And last rights on this game with Wyong, like Gosford, have got to kick a couple in a hurry to get back in it. It's not over, but it's close. That's a throw. Eid in front, should have got a push in the back. Umpire slightly obscured by the position of where the player was. Raslin, Moore, quick hands out, Roach. Gets on that left and screws it around. Big high ball, but he's got it central. Oh, almost a mark in front. Gets it to Moore, roving brilliantly. He's been so clever today, Moore. Toz, short handball out. One too many handballs, picked off by Gosford eventually. Sproul, Hamish, goes down the spine. Barty just gets it, a brilliant handball in the end of Dietz. Goes with a barrel. Bumped out there by Deeble, who we haven't called much all day. 70s Hunt. And that young fella should be about 4 or 5 minutes further behind with that football, just for his own safety. And in fact, Lucas, this clock has stopped on our little live scoring. So now we're out of whack. So I would suggest it's 8 on a 9 minutes gone. It just completely stopped. I don't know what had happened. But as you know, live scoring can be fun. Oh, free kick, actually, Hunt. I wonder if that's for a push out. At ground level, that's a mark, and that's a goal, I reckon.
Miller.
No, Sproul.
Sorry, Sproul.
Alex Sproul, I reckon.
Excuse me, yep.
Sorry.
Third goal of the day.
Kendall did tell me not to do that, so I'll need to learn my lesson.
Right.
Gosford 13-6-84, Wyong Lakes 15-12, 102. We think there's about 19 minutes gone in this quarter. Sproul's had a decent day out, Louis. You got 102-84, Kendall, on your scores? Thank you. I'll give you an update while we're waiting for that football. So in the centre, I can go to the MCG for everybody and just get a score. I'm going to need to do an update. I'll come back to that. Oh, Fremantle in front. Fremantle up now by 5 points, 10 minutes in. 71-66 at the MCG. That will be huge for the Dockers if they can get home.
Huge thump from Toz, hitting directly to Roger. They're trying to play high-risk football, which they need to do, Gosford now. Wyong trying to slow the tempo down, as they should. Goes long and high, inside forward 50. Another one for Wyong. McFan at the back. Can't quite get there. At the ground, McFan laying tackles as he so often should. Great in trying to trap Thompson inside their defensive 50, David. And we've got some more scores from around the AFL Hunter Central Coast, and in particular Black Diamond Cup, as Ryan Stanton once again throws this ball in the air. Toz directly grabbing it. It wasn't Toz, actually. It was McDonald having a quick shot at goal on his left. Sprays it. Wyong, 15-13, 103. Gosford, 12...
I think it was 12-12.
12-12, 84.
No, maybe 12-6, hang on. 13-6, there we go. 13-6, 84, Louis.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kendall, as well. At the back there, Laxer can't try to take the mark. Dan White set upon by Hillman immediately. Laxer taps it out to Moore, and that's a sling that Daniel White's going to get. Or is it a throw against White? Yeah, Daniel White's asking for a sling
yep.
And in fact, the decision's been given against Dan White for throwing the football, which is quite amazing. Newcastle City 10 points up. They're 5-16 in that game. In that game against Kelowna, 10 points up. They may hang on. It's extraordinary kick from Laxer. Manuel gets that out, dropped. Roger, who's been quite serviceable today in my mind.
White's just clutching that collarbone or sort of neck region as well from that resulting tackle. He's dropped back into the hole now.
That was no attempt at the football by McFan. I thought should have been a free kick against him. White putting pressure on. Manuel is going to come out here to Thompson and him on the chest. Oh, he's dropped a sitter, and that ball's out of bounds. So, Laxer just put an elbow in there. That's handbags at 10 paces. Just go back and, more selling his Laxer just to get back. Interesting, I thought Laxer had a shirt on. He hasn't. He's got skins on those shoulders. So you wonder whether he's a slightly framed player. You wonder if he's had problems with that before. Toz into the ruck, along with Rigas. Laxer misses it. Eid, who's got lovely hands. Big, strong man he is. Gets it out. Roger. Great tackle, Braden Toz. And I do mean great. Umpires have gone down there. I hope Ryan Stanton's okay. Straight back up he is. Incidental contact there. I just hope Stanton's okay.
Glacken stayed down from that collision, I'm assuming, David.
Not well.
No, clutching at a sort of right ankle or lower leg there.
This is... Gets the handball out. That was Casburn. Goes to Hillman. That was in his 30th kick today. Moore's also had that many. Lovely left-hand handball. Laxer and they're away. He's on his own, Glacken there. He should go wide. Does. Roach on his natural left. Shanks it and kicks it to the Maccas. It's ended up in the hedges, and he's trying to kick that to Maccas, ladies and gentlemen. So, got some artwork there, hasn't he? Goodness me. Spent some time with the tattoo artist. Some of those look actually like Islander tattoos. But anyway, especially the one on the left. Yeah, very impressive, James. Wyong Lakes up by 19 points. Last couple of minutes of this game. It's been a very entertaining afternoon with Lucas Holmes and Kendall Clawson. And he could have made that really nasty.
Could have almost been 50 metres as well, David.
You know what? That's a very good call. Patrick Murphy with a lazy 60-metre bomb. Gets it out there. Reading it brilliantly is Dietz. No, yeah, it was Dietz, actually.
Yep.
And brilliantly delivered to Sproul. Alec. And when they're in open pasture, Gosford, they do look dangerous, don't they?
They just, in this, I was saying, this last portion of the game, Wyong Lakes have more control of the tempo, which is sort of taken the quick ball movement away from Gosford. Sproul needs to start. It's just inside the right post and has, but the wind's taken it, or has it?
Yep.
It is. It's a point to Gosford. Now 13-7-85. Wyong 15-13-103. With there'll be little to no time left in this quarter after our little malfunction with live scoring. Scores remain the same and are correct. Long in front of Barty on the mark. Here's Thompson at the back. That's almost unrealistic. There's a punch pack form there. There's Doyle at the back. Raslin's been impressive. He'd be in the top 4 or 5 players on the ground, in my opinion, David. And the spoil from Doyle seals the deal for the Magpies. A resounding victory in the end, 15-13-103, Gosford 13-7-85. With
Fremantle now down by 2 points to Melbourne at the MCG. Lucas, interesting afternoon. Really, really was. Wyong, as I think, might have kicked 14 of the last 18 goals or something along those lines. And, they've come from, after a pulsating first quarter performance by Gosford, Wyong's just come back and, in fact, earned that victory. That was a very impressive performance. And I do say this again. Where has that form been from them? They've only won a couple of games this year. They're a better team. That's bottom end of the 6 stuff. What they've just done there.
Yep.
They're going to give Wyong. They're going to give Warners Bay and Kalana and teams like that some real hurry. If they play with that conviction and that sort of purpose, look out, especially with a fit McFan. McFan more Hillman fit makes a big difference.
Yep.
Subway Morissette play there. I have an obvious target for me. Your opinion?
Hillman, I will narrow it down. I think, firstly, the better plays for Gosford today, David. Alex Sproul was good up forward, kicking 3 goals. Jewel Ferguson was actually good, sort of that half forward flank area. Daniel White was serviceable as well around the ground. Patrick Murphy, for himself, was surprisingly quiet today, I think, David. Fair to say. Josh Barty, the skipper, as well, playing nicely as well. And James Riggis also doing fairly well in the ruck against a much more dominant Braden Toz today.
Yeah, I thought Braden Toz was excellent today. Lee Moore had a very good day out. You mentioned Raslin. He'll be in their best 6 for sure.
Nathan Doyle as well.
Nathan Doyle, but for mine, Tim Hillman. You happy with that?
Yep.
Very good. I'll get you to help me with live scoring and finish that off in a minute. Just in a minute, mate. Thank you very much for your company. Michael, thank you for your time at half-time in the women's fixture. It's good to have Conversation Corner with you. Good thanks to our wonderful EP Kendall, who's gone through a lot today with weather and rain and tense up. He's done a wonderful job, as he always does. Lucas, thank you for your company once again. Look forward to seeing you at Maitland next week.
Will do, David. Can't wait.
On behalf of Lucas James Holmes, Kendall Clawson, Michael George Redden, this is David Michael Redden saying a very good afternoon from Adcock Park in West Gosford with Wyong Lakes up by 3 goals. See you next week.